It's a hell of a day, isn't it? Your football coach is on his way out. Your basketball team got beat by 25 on national TV. Ooh-wee. Good morning and happy Thanksgiving week, huh? Bob Davies out. He'll coach on Saturday against Utah State. You know all that. Put out a joint statement yesterday. He and Eddie Nunez mutually agreed that Bob will part ways with the university will part ways with Bob Davie. After 8 years as the head football coach, and we don't need to rehash everything. I don't need to give you, you know what happened. You know what the record is. You know where the program is. And I think this surprised zero amount of people, right? Anybody, I mean, maybe the timing was, maybe it was because it was yesterday afternoon as opposed to Sunday or last week or whatever. I mean, if there's a surprise, that's it. We're going to get into why, what's next. I know you're going to want to complain about the pay. It's not $18 million like Willie Taggart got. We'll get into that as well. Good morning and happy Tuesday to you, I guess, if it's happy. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Hoser, Alden producing for you on the ProView Networks today. What's good, y'all?
What'd it do? It was very eventful Monday night in Lobo Land. It's a happy Tuesday because we're rolling along. We are here. We've got a lot to discuss this morning, and I was a little surprised by the timing, not surprised by the announcement. It was coming. It was time after this season with the way things have gone for Lobo football. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it all with just Davey and even Tony Sanchez yesterday. You're just hoping for like a all shucks hoorah farewell moment this weekend because it's going to be incredibly awkward around both facilities throughout the week and playing one more game.
Tony Sanchez, the former New Mexico State Aggie, was also let go very, very similarly at UNLV. He will coach the Rebels game for the Cannon against Nevada Reno, their big rivalry game, on Saturday coming up in Reno. I don't know what the right way to do it is, man. You figure if you're going to do it with one game left, you let the coach finish it out with his seniors. Both of these guys have recruited these classes and let him go, or you tell him to clean out his office today and have look. I mean, everybody's looking for a job anyway. It's obviously imperfect, and then you say, well, why not wait till the end of the season? Well, why not get a jump start now if you know what you're going to do? I mean, who are you doing anybody any? If you know what you're going to do, if you know what the outcome is going to be, if you know where it's going, if you know you're parting ways, you tell me what the advantage is.
And that is something that does get lost, and we need to bring it up, is the assistants in this, because everyone hates Bob Davie. Not, just hyperbole right there. And they're ready to see him go this or that, but there's a lot of assistants now that are hitting the market, and it's a tough time of year for coaches in the profession. It's what happens in the business, and as you said, now everyone's really on their phones today, the rest of the week, trying to figure it out. The same thing's going for these student athletes. What's the roster going to look like? How much recruiting was actually done this year, if any? Because there's some things along those lines. So while coach search is here, new coach coming in, you just never know what year one's going to look like. But it was something that was bound to happen. It finally happened, and here we go.
Yeah, there's a lot of families involved. I don't know that everybody hates Bob Davie. I think that the majority of people feel that a change was necessary, that something's got to happen. And I'm interested to hear what Bob has to say today. Yesterday, we were put on hold initially that Bob was going to have a conflict. He wasn't going to come on with us. And then that conflict, I was told, was resolved, and he came on. He was going to come on this morning, and that turned out to yesterday. So he is going to speak today. Eddie Nunez is going to speak at a press conference today. It's going to be, I'm sure, a highly attended press conference. I hope they ordered extra food for the lunch because the regular amount of food probably isn't going to feed all the media that will be there today. I want your thoughts on a lot of things. And the phone number to get in today is 50246 0610. That's 505-246-0610. You can send emails. Jeff at 610knml.com, JJ at 610knml.com. I know you've been active on the Twitter. It's _JJ Buck. And on the Facebook, the OD in the AM. And let's try to see if we can advance this, okay? Let's get past here's where I'm not going today, or at least I hope I'm not. the kill football, because they're not. Okay, so let's have a conversation that gets us somewhere. Is that are we done with that? Like
Yes.
where do we go? I know you're going to complain about the payout. That's part of the deal, man. I just and we don't know what the exact settlement is, if there's a settlement. If he gets his $840,000, the man signed a contract. The university signed the contract, and that's how it is. If someone fired you, let you go before your contract was up, you would want the rest of what was due on your contract. Willie Taggart walked away at Florida State with $8 million. It was a guy at Arkansas.
Ed Morris.
Was it $12 million there? Right. I mean, it's just like you don't have to like it, okay? But it's getting you nowhere to complain about it, and it's not. I'm going to hear it's your money. Can we let's advance this? All right, let's be better than that today. Is that all right? Or am I
think that's fair because they're not dropping football. That's right now not a part of the conversation.
All right. So what happened, and what's next? And how do you move this thing forward? And we're going to hear a litany of names. The top of the list, everybody's top of the list is Danny Gonzalez, and that's fine. I understand it, and I've heard Zach Arnett, and I've heard Curtis Looper, a former UNM assistant who's at TCU, and Holman Wiggins, a former UNM assistant who's at Alabama right now, who's the wide receiver coach.
Add it to the list. I got some names that'll be thrown out there too throughout the day via the Twitter, just sharing the thoughts of the fan base.
So we'll go with all that, all right. But let's have the conversation, and keep it civil. Here's one thing, and where the program is now is inarguable, right? I understand it. 3-9, you're 2-9 right now. Whether you like Bob Davie or not, it is inarguable that he took it out of 111, 111, 111, and did get it to a point of 9-4. 7-6, 9-4, right? Now, obviously the man did something good. He did something right. And it's a hard job. Are we all agreeing with that?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes, it is.
So you can't take that from him, but it did get back to where it is now. And he can't run from that either. So when we look at the entirety of it, right, we do have to acknowledge that, right?
Yes, what he did was back-to-back bowl appearances, taking this, what was, in some people's mind, the worst program at the time after Loxley era, getting it bowl eligible, getting back on track, bringing talent in, find consistency.
Yeah, and it's hard. It's hard, and that's what you were saying. Let's see what it looks like around here if you can get 4 or 5 years of consistency, and would people respond to that? All right, so we got that. We got an 84-59 beatdown in Brooklyn last night to talk about. We got to get there because Lobos got run out of the gym by Auburn last night. We've got to talk about Lamar because his 5 touchdowns and 95 yards rushing, they beat the Rams 45-6 in their own building. So we got to get there as well. We got a ton to do. Let's go and get started. John, you're up first. Good morning, John. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, as for the football coach, I'd like to see somebody with some head coaching experience coming in from maybe a D3, somebody that's putting up an exceptional record that can come into UNM. I mean, they say we got money from somebody that'll come in and look at it like, wow, look at everything I've got to work with, other than somebody that comes from a big program and that comes in and says, oh, crap, man, I need more money. The difference of philosophy, somebody coming in from somewhere with nothing that's successful versus somebody coming in with no head coaching experience and coming in and say, wow, I had everything over there. What am I going to do here kind of thing.
So you want to see a head coach from a lower level come up. All right. That's fair. I don't know, if you got a name, that's good. Craig Bohl did it at Wyoming, right? I'm trying to think, was it done – in this league, is it done? And I'm looking for a model. That doesn't mean
that was really a home run hire when you think about it for Craig Bohl to go to Wyoming after FCS national championships. That's on the list. I know I have 2 names that were thrown out yesterday via the Twitter, as you said, it was popping off about FCS guys: Brian Bohannon, Kennesaw State, Troy Taylor, Sacramento State. Guys, you're like, wait, who are these? But you start looking at the records. Yep. What they're doing. I know a lot of people are looking at Avenue and think that's the route to go this time. Is an up-and-comer taking that step?
There's going to be a lot of names that you hear, a lot of names. And Eddie's going to field a lot of phone calls. And not everybody's going to like it. The guy, see, this is where don't get. I'm going to make you a suggestion here, and then we'll take a break. We'll go back into it. Don't get attached to one name. You may have a favorite, and you may like this guy, that guy, whoever. And if it goes the other way, don't. I would hope you wouldn't just go, "Oh, I'm out. He didn't hire my guy," right? And you tend to get lost in this thing, right? Remember when Noodles was hired and everybody was on Noodles, and I'm leaving. If Noodles isn't the guy, I'm pulling my support. And Paul hired Noodles, and I'll go back on that. I think Craig Neal was the right hire at that time. I know it didn't work out. I probably would have hired Craig Neal if I was in that situation. I thought he was ready to move over one seat. He'd been here that long. Things were going good. I didn't think there was a reason to blow it up. Obviously, it didn't work. But don't get too attached. Don't say this has got to be the guy, and they go a different way and say, "Oh, it's just stupid. I'm out of here. I'm not supporting it." Give it a chance. There's a lot of different philosophies on this thing, and Eddie and that committee are going to have to make a decision, and it's not an easy decision. And there's a lot of factors that are going to go into that decision. How available is a coach? Is there a buyout to get that coach? What does that coach need? What are that coach's strengths? Can that coach recruit? Can that coach coach? Will that coach be in the daggum community? Because whoever the new person is going to have to be rah-rah in this community and get people back. 505-246-0610. We're on ProView Networks. You can watch us on Comcast Channel 6, worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com. And, of course, listen to us on 95.9 FM. And AM 610, the sports animal.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club or DreamstyleRemodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rawlins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
The Lascombe family has been growing and crafting wine in New Mexico since 1981. Formerly known as St. Clair Winery, we're going back to our roots and honoring our founders, Danielle and Hervé Lascombe. Today, our D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro locations continue to deliver the exceptional wine and food experience you've come to expect from the Lascombe family. Visit us and enjoy a culmination of our 6th-generation winemaking legacy and unique, perfectly paired foods. D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across.
Like everybody's just sending me names now.
Add it to the list.
Yeah, here, you got a list going?
I do.
All right. Alex says, anybody mentioned Kelly Lee from Eastern New Mexico? Are they winning at Eastern?
He's had a good, he's gotten a good run down there.
All right. Carlos
and he
says,
does the triple option, too.
Is that what you want? Do you want the triple option?
No, we talked about how much it was successful.
Okay.
It worked.
All right. That's what do you want? Carlos says Jay Hill from Weber State built Weber from a bad program to a program that almost beat San Diego State with FCS players and won the Big Sky this last season. You got that on the list?
That was on the list.
Yeah, Jay Hill's interesting. Yeah, was San Diego State beat him 6-0 this year? Yeah, there's going to be a lot of names. There's going to be guys. Jim McElwain's name is come up a lot, right? He was the Colorado State coach. Had a lot of success at Colorado State. Now, and look, he may be. If Mike Bobo's out there, he may be on their list again. They may want to go back to the future there. I don't know. He went to Florida, didn't work. He was the offensive coordinator at Michigan, and now he's at Central Michigan. He's taken Central Michigan from 1-11 last year to. They're a 7-win team this year, and I believe playing for the MAC. They're 5-2 and tied for the MAC West lead. They're 7-4 overall, and so they've gone from 1-11 last year. He was on our show right before the New Mexico State game, living in a barn, working out of a trailer. To the last caller's point on facilities, Jim McElwain, one of his assistants, Rob Akey. Rob Akey was an assistant at Washington State, and then he took the job at Idaho. Remember when they won it was then the Humanitarian Bowl, or was it the Potato Bowl at that point? Remember when Idaho won that game and they were all over, Schlereth had them all over ESPN and everything?
Not Rob Akey.
That's right, Rob Akey. Hey, Bubba, how you doing, Bubba? So Rob Akey's interested in that. I mean, there's going to be a million names.
Yeah, and that's one thing I do want to throw out there. It was one of the first comments we got on Facebook. It's been thrown out there on Twitter. Well, who's going to want this job?
There's
everyone. It's still a Division I head football coaching job, and there's plenty of guys grinding, and there's plenty of guys that want that opportunity again.
Let me tell you something. And I hear that too. I'm not telling you you're stupid, you're dumb. I'm not. Smart people do dumb things. That's not a smart statement. Like if you think who's going to want this job, you're flat out. I'm going to tell you with unadulterated 100%, you're wrong. Now there may be some people who don't want this job, but there will not be a lack of very well qualified coaches who want this opportunity. John, good morning. How you doing, John?
Good morning. How you doing?
Excellent. You?
Good. Am I on the air?
You are on the air.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just wanted to comment on the Davies firing. I think he was a good coach. He just he wasn't able to recruit. The records when he had a over 500 record, I believe it was Lockley's recruits that
Lockley's.
It was not.
that made a good team. I wish they would have kept him at least so he could fulfill his contract, and it's just a lot of wasted money. Just the coaches that we've let go and paid off: Steve Alford, Loxley, Noodles, A.D. Krebs.
You didn't have to pay
Bob
Alford
Davies
anything to
now.
go. You didn't have to pay Alford to go. Alford left, and actually, I think he paid you guys a little bit when he left. So you didn't have to pay him to go. But yeah, when there's left on the contract, you did have to pay Noodles. You did have to pay for Schilla. You did have, when you let go of a coach before his contract's up, then that's part of the game. But
yeah. I wish with these public monies, they would have let him
finish out
coach his contract out. Save some money for the university. I don't know.
All right, John.
Anyway, that's my opinion. Thank you.
It. I guess you got to look at it the other way. How much are you losing on the other side, right?
Another 2 years, yeah.
I mean, another 2 years of this. How much, who's coming back? How much are you losing as far as support?
And that wasn't Loxley's team then.
No. The Loxley's team. In fact, when he got here, the numbers were so down with defection. Remember, we were talking about that. They had like 23% retainment
even winning
of players.
4 games in that first year.
Mm-hmm. He did a really nice job.
How'd they do that?
But when he went to this, the 7-6, the 9-4 years, those were not Loxley's guys. Those were his staff recruited those. So you got to give credit where credit is due. I just want to go back to that point one more time, because it's one of my least favorite narratives on when it comes to this. So nobody's going to want this job. Now, you guys, like you might think that, but you're just not right with that. The opportunity, the destination, the facilities aren't as horrible as I mean, they're not as good as a lot of places, but you've got potential. People want an opportunity to be a head coach. And to say, I'm just going to tell you the list of qualified, good candidates. Nick Saban doesn't want this job. Okay, fine. Chip Kelly may not want this job. Mike Leach might not want this job. But there's going to be plenty of good football coaches who are qualified that are going to be able to do things here. And I just, that's one of my least favorite narratives on this, where who's going to want to come here? We're going to stop it. And the other thing is, let's get a guy in here for $200, $300 and that's not happening either. You got to pay market value. Now, you might be able to pay the lower end of market value, and you may not like what market value is, okay? But to think that you're going to bring someone in here on the cheap and you're going to get results at the top, it's not. There's an expression that says you get what you pay for sometimes. There's a reason that's an expression too. I'm not telling you to pay a guy at the top of the scale.
But I also think that's why so many people are going for that young, fiery guy, looking for the opportunity, because they probably come in at a lower end on the salary scale. And I like what you said earlier too. Maybe there's guys you like, but don't get caught up on it. Don't be like, oh my gosh, they didn't hire my guy, now I'm out. You have to be open during this process.
Yeah, it's really, really important. And I've talked to so many people over the last Lord knows how long, right, about this moment. And everybody, and a lot of people really connected with the university, or boosters or former players or whatever. There's a connection. Some are former boosters. Well, if they bring my guy in, I'll be back. Well, look, there's a lot of guys like you, right? And while you might be passionate about a direction, about a way to go, I hope that you look at the bigger picture. And you may say, this is my guy and he did this here and he was successful and they went another way. Well, I'm out. Don't do that. I implore you. I so rarely tell you how to act, but I implore you to not go down that direction and at least give it a shot. And then you'll probably say, I told you so here in a little bit. But
can I also throw one more thing out there?
Yeah.
No Art Briles, please.
You're going to hear that a bunch. Art Briles' name is
great.
Is,
you
is
open the
come
door.
Up. No, I mean
everyone's already talking about it.
Of course it is.
Mr. Brandon Boat was trying to stir that pot yesterday.
I forgot about
he
him.
Who was?
Brandon Boat was like trying to stir that pot yesterday.
Oh.
It was like, oh, you know, this is the guy. He needs a second chance. Blah blah blah. Only in hell, as one prominent radio voice would say.
So the Art Briles thing has been there. There's been a push for that for about 12 months now, and there's a group that has been pushing that. There's a group with money pushing Art Briles, and it's really interesting because, again, that's another conversation I've had multiple times.
So what happens if he does get it? Are we out? Are you out?
What do you mean?
That Art Briles stuff.
Is who out?
Anybody.
Well, I'm not sure I understand.
Well, or JJ, he was like, don't bring that
well,
up.
be open, but at some point in time, you can't just be the school of second, third, fourth chances. Like Baylor was a disaster.
Let's explain who Art Briles is first, because I don't know that everybody knows. Art Briles is the former coach at Baylor. He was fired at Baylor or left at Baylor, 3 years ago now, amidst a slew. And like it was at 30-something allegations and some proven allegations. I know one football player went to jail for covering up sexual assaults. Okay? He walked away with like a $15 million buyout, correct?
Mm-hmm.
He's coaching at a high school in Texas. He was very successful as a college coach. He basically built Baylor from a laughingstock to a national power. And so there's a group of people here that Art Briles will come here. He doesn't need a lot of money. He's made a lot of money and feel that he's the only one that can turn this around. He comes with unbelievable luggage. Right? How do you got a female president, you got a female governor, you've got we're making this message about sexual assault and how it's unacceptable, and what does that say? Now, Art Briles, plenty of people say, hey, he's been implicated or he's been exonerated. Exonerated is the word, not implicated. He's been exonerated. He didn't do anything.
Right.
It happened under his watch. It's going to be a tough one to get out from. He's a heck of a football coach. He wins football games, but
and
yes,
the sad thing
that
is
name will be
a
there.
lot of people don't care because that's not what resonates. If he knelt for the national anthem, he would for sure never be a candidate. But the stuff that went on, bring him back, second chance.
I can't see that happening, but I know that there's a push for that as well. All right, 505-246-0610. Come on in. There's a ton to do today. We got a sweet deal for you. We'll tell you about it at 8:20. We got to get into Lowell basketball as well. 84-59 last night. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Animal time is 7:28. Let's take another look at this morning's commute. This report is sponsored by Great Clips. Right now, just a few accidents to worry about. The latest one is at Harper and Wyoming. Slight delays happening there. Also, accident eastbound on I-40 at the end of the Coors on-ramp. Delays happening there. And still active, the one in Bernalillo crash at Highway 550 and Safe Light Boulevard. That is blocking the northbound lane. This holiday season, look great and save time with a haircut from Great Clips. Download the Great Clips app or go to greatclips.com to check in online ahead of time when you visit one of our 25 Albuquerque, Los Lunas, Rio Rancho, and Santa Fe area locations. Great Clips, home of the online check-in. If you see an accident, call us on the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167, brought to you by American Home Furniture Outlet and Clearance Center at I-25 and Comanche. I'm Josue with your Sports Animal Traffic.
The Jim Rome Show.
The Sports Animal has been in existence a quarter of a century. This radio station is so amazing. I have been on that station 25 years. I'm really, really grateful for that. Really thankful for that. Albuquerque is an incredible jungle market.
The Jim Rome Show. Weekdays at 10, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-466-9625. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-466-9625.
In most situations, it's easy to debate who is the greatest of all time. But when you need collision repair, there's only one clear GOAT. Quan's has won a Best of the City award for the past 6 years straight. Don't go to any collision repair shop. Better Collision Repair Shop at Quan's Auto Body. Our award-winning customer service and certified collision repair makes Quan's better than the competition. Make the better choice and visit Quan's Auto Body in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho.
Families will tell you there's something special about Beehive Homes.
One day my dad said, I'd like to go stay at the Beehive for a few days. We brought him to the Beehive and he lived here 4 years till he passed away. It didn't appear to be like any facility that we visited. It was a home. It became my father's home, but it also became a home to my family as well.
That's the heart of Beehive Homes, a place where aging seniors are loved and the next best place to home. Visit beehivehomesnm.com.
You can count on Roto-Rooter's licensed professionals for all of your plumbing needs for your home or your business. Roto-Rooter will be on time and on budget. With 80 years of plumbing experience, Roto-Rooter will make things right.
Psst. Holiday Inn Express wants to let you in on a little secret. Members can now get up to 25% off at holidayinexpress.com during our cyber sale. Book now and save at holidayinexpress.com. Terms apply.
Excuse me, Captain. This is your wake-up call from the new TracFone Wireless.
What's that now?
What if you had to fly this plane while sitting back in the cabin?
I wouldn't have any control.
Well, that's what it's like going with some wireless companies, but TracFone Wireless gives you control. Get unlimited talk and text on America's best 4G LTE network starting at $20 a month, no contract. Plus, unlimited carryover data with active service.
That's cool, but how'd you get in my cockpit?
This is your wake-up call, people. The new TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. Available at major retailers. See terms and conditions at TracFone.com.
The Dan Patrick Show. Today at 1, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Lobo basketball plays today. What time? 3 o'clock, right? 3 o'clock. 2:30 is the pregame show over on News Radio KKOB. They play Wisconsin out of the Big Ten. After getting run out of the gym, 84-79 yesterday. Auburn beat them. That Lobos had an early lead. And then athleticism and...
it was 4-0 New Mexico.
Yeah, well, it was like 14-11, right? And then, 2460610, two lines open for you. Good morning, Craig. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing this morning?
All right, what's happening?
You know, it's about 10 years ago or so that we were kind of in this situation, or UNM was in this situation where, they moved on from Rocky, and I was as skeptical as anybody about Bob Davie when they brought him in. We were all at that press conference, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
And which was quite entertaining. This is a big hire for Mr. Nunez, and I think we should let him do what he's going to do. If I'm not mistaken, this is probably going to be the biggest hire, definitely, of his career so far.
Yep.
And I was kind of sitting here thinking about this morning. About basically a decade out from what Lobo football was in the 2000s, when they were getting 30,000 people at the stadium. I think we were as competitive, if not the most competitive team in the Mountain West, against Utah, who is seriously gunning for a national championship appearance, possibly in the playoffs. And then here we are. I think it can be done. Please don't bring in an Art Briles kind of guy. That's not what this program needs. I think that's some of the things that started undoing Coach Davie, was all the stuff that swirled around those type of allegations here. And we don't need to be the place where people that have that kind of stuff on them, rehabilitate their image. New Mexico does not need to be that place.
Fair enough.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Craig. Good to hear you. Hello, Rudy.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, I just wanted to give my best wishes to the Davie family, and I was one of the people that did get to meet them and did get to know them, and Bob always treated me with respect and class, and, we texted back and forth, and I haven't texted him yet, but I will today just to once again thank him. And I think it's some of the great victories that this program had under him. I mean, they went on the blue and beat Boise.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Right?
Yep.
That was huge.
Look,
that was huge.
There's no taking whatever anybody feels about Bob and where the program is now. It is undeniable the progress they made in the years. The numbers that they had when he got here, they were 1-11 for 3 years in a row, built them up to 7-6, 9-4. But he's also got to where they are now, right? 3-9, 3-9, 2-9.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It happens. And all I got to say about that is, look at what he actually is leaving. And I really think a couple of things, can derail your coaching career or your tenure. And it all happened, including this year, which, whatever good start you could get to, it didn't happen. And then one thing after another, you have a coach that suffers a serious medical incident, whatever you want to call it, the very first game of the season. And I think that was a cloud hanging over this season too. And I think there just came a point where he just didn't have that fire, and you can't, get to the kids and get them motivated the way you have to. This is a tough job.
Yes.
And it's tougher at New Mexico because we think that we can make chicken salad out of chicken what, and we can't. And it's time for this Board of Regents and this university and this president to decide whether we're going to have an athletic department or not, because football has to drive the bus. And it really disappointed me the last couple of years to hear actual athletes at UNM trash the football program. It just blew me away. So they need to change that. And it needs to be a university effort. It can't just be the football team. And as far as I'm concerned, the guy's out there. He's at Arizona State right now. His name's Danny Gonzalez. He grew up here in Albuquerque. He's one of the best defensive coordinators. Are we going to have a little rough patch? Yeah. Or you never know. The rumblings I hear out of my friends at San Diego State, and you got more friends than I do at San Diego State, is they want Rocky gone yesterday.
Yep, they're tired of only winning, the way they're winning. 8-4 is not good enough for them anymore.
Hire him back. I'm sitting there watching Marvin Lewis as a paid assistant at Arizona State, wondering, gee, Marvin coached here at New Mexico with Mike Shepard. I wonder if he wants to come back for a head coaching stint. How long did he last at the Bengals?
13 years? 13 years? Yeah, it was a long time.
I think it was one of the longest tenures of any
I'm
coach
going to guess.
in the history of the NFL.
Marvin Lewis is interesting to me. I'm going to guess, and I don't know this. I'm going to guess. My gut tells me, and JJ says this all the time, and he's right. You always kind of go the opposite of what you've got. I'm going to guess they're going to go young, upcoming, the Danny Gonzalez mold. Now, I don't know if it's going to be him, but that's my gut. That's what my gut tells me, and I don't have any inside baseball on that.
I've been told it's the defensive coordinator at LSU, whoever that is, and I haven't looked him up, and I don't know him. But I've talked to all my friends in coaching, and, I've talked to players. And one thing I do know, and I'm in contact with, is a lot of ex-Lobo athletes. And we've been on in communications, and I think that you're going to see Mark Morris play a big part in this. Now everything's done through research firms and PR firms or whatever you call them, coaching search firms.
That's right.
To keep the identity of the people. But I don't think we need an Art Briles. I don't think the moment he walked on campus, if he was hired, it'd be bathed in all the stuff that happened at Baylor. And that's just not any way to do it unless these fat cat donors, and I know a couple of them, want to pony up for the program. And if they're willing to pay the freight, then I guess you can take a second chance on it, because you don't have to worry about the public, because once you start winning, everybody knows what's going to happen. People will flock back to University Stadium. That's just the way sports fans are.
David Aranda is the defensive coordinator at LSU.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
that's the name I've heard from parents. Talking in the parking lot before the game.
Yeah,
so I don't know what they know.
Obviously, there's a connection with Eddie and LSU there too. So that name's going to come up a lot. Could be a lot of names, Rudy. There's going to be a lot of names.
Yeah. Hey, last night in New York City, you go all the way across the country. You see Times Square. You show a guy your bankroll and you get mugged. And that's exactly what happened to them. And that's an expensive lesson. Hopefully not too expensive. UNM has talent. It's just we stood around all last night, didn't we?
Yeah, it wasn't good. It was a lot of standing around on offense and defense. So, all right, I got to go. Appreciate the call. It's going to be interesting, Rudy. Thanks. All right, 505-246-0610.
Yeah, look at Dave Aranda. Had a stint at Hawaii.
Yep.
2012 Utah State defensive coordinator, so familiar with the region.
Yeah.
West.
And then has been in Wisconsin and LSU. Before that, a West Coast guy, went to Cal Lutheran. So you would assume has coached Texas Tech and Houston.
That's a big part of it. Is you need the community engagement. You need people to believe the next head coach is invested in the state. Build that connection. You still got to recruit California and Texas.
43 years old, so relatively young. 505-246-0610. Andy's got a good hairline. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide coaches award program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game. The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide coaches award program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game. The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide coaches award program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game. The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide coaches award program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game. The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide coaches award program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game. The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide coaches award program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game. The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide coaches award program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Local Union 412. Find a career with benefits, not just a job, at UA Local 412 Training Center. We are looking for plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC tech apprentices and journeymen. Call 505-256-9257. Local Union 412.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
At New Mexico Highlands University, you're more than a student, you're family. Whether you're taking courses in Las Vegas, Santa Fe, Rio Rancho, Albuquerque, or Farmington, you'll get that one-on-one attention to inspire you to reach your goals. Let New Mexico Highlands help take your passion and accelerate it into a career and fulfilling life path. Find out why New Mexico Highlands is the right choice for you. Log on to NewMexicoHighlands.com today.
10, the sports animal.
All right, we are going to talk with Doug Martin coming up at 8 o'clock, New Mexico State's football coach. Aggies won 2 in a row, and they got one left. Harold said, Art rides Art. Jeff, I'm hearing it's a done deal. Browse join Mayor Tim Keller, Stokes, Nunez at the first ceremonial Art Passengers on Friday at 8 a.m. All right, there you go. Harold just broke the news for you.
Breaking news.
Done deal. Not only, and the press conference is going to be at the Art ceremonial
On
first
the bus.
train.
Get on the bus.
All right, there you go. Art and Art, get it? Art Briles. Art is the football, is the train. They're going to just rename it all. It's all just going to be the Art. Yep, got it. Even though it doesn't go to the stadium.
Boy, now it's
I think people think of both
the same way.
The same right now.
Yep. Pretty good chance of that. Goodness gracious. All right, 505-246-0610. You can get in on Lobo basketball. Ron says it's the coward's way out, Jeff. Listen to this theory. I have a feeling Nunez knew Lobo basketball was going to get blued out of the built, so he announced at 5 p.m. on Monday, so we would be talking about the firing today and not what happened in Brooklyn.
No. Because we're going to get there.
It worked out that way.
Don't you worry.
Maybe we will. Maybe
we
will. We'll get there.
I'll make sure we'll get there.
Right,
you might not be sitting there, but we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about
There you
basketball.
go.
All right, Lance. What's up? How you living? Lance. Did I not hit the button?
Hey.
All right, hit it up.
Tres amigos.
Oh, boy.
Davey out.
Whoa.
Press. Free food. Icebreaker Lancer. Sports animals in the house. And, Jeff, you do the best Portno voice. I mean,
I do?
4 times during the Aggie game, my dog, Champion, Fetcher, Wrestle Healer, mix, and has a ball in her mouth as we're listening to the game. She drops it, and we have to run to the door. To go pee outside. I couldn't even make it to the bathroom. She knocks on the door herself. In the Portno pee voice. She do it better than anybody. It's hilarious. And city council, I'm trying to lighten up the mood. That's what I'm trying to do. and closed captioning, for the deaf people. What about the blind guy that wants to feel his way around Hooters? And go into a room where he can hear the game. You can't hear the
what's
game
wrong?
anyway.
What's wrong with you?
In a bar? The blind guy, it's discrimination. The blind sports animal should have a right. But anyway, Davey lives in Scottsdale. All this from Rudy, we text, he's a good guy. Everybody's a good guy. Rudy, why don't you go apply for the job? All I know is that the person they played harder for and won was the interim coach. We're going to all these people, all these names. Brandon knows nothing about sports anymore. He's a little political guy or whatever. The interim coach they played hard for. It's right under your nose. That those players dug into him. He's younger. They understand him. Why go pay millions of dollars if some guy's going to rip us off instead of wow, you were an interim coach and, they hired you and you're coming out here to see me and they still win for you. There's a lot of good players in that football team. I'm getting a little tired of hearing about how the players aren't good enough. There's some good players, big old boombalattas on that football team.
All right.
And there's no way that they should have been losing this many games.
All right, so you got it on the coach.
Look right under your nose for somebody instead of paying all these millions of dollars and work your way up from the bottom. That's where we're at right now.
All right. All right, Lance. Thanks. So first of all, I don't know that the players are good enough right now. I don't think he lives in Scottsdale. I know that he has a residence there, and he has a residence here. Now, I'm sure he's going to go live in Scottsdale. And I just, where does that come from? I hear that, people say that somebody heard it, and it's fact. He's never here. It's just, yeah, he's got a house there, and he goes there. I just, people know, I deliver cookies there all the time. He's got his house in Scottsdale. Yeah. But people are so bothered by stuff that they hear. Where do you want to go with this? Okay, and I'm going to say this a few times because I know the audience turns over quite a bit, and we're on the AM today, and I don't know if the FM's up and wherever we are, who hears it. But I'm going to implore you, and I don't often make requests. I certainly try not to tell you how to react. But I'm going to implore you that don't get so set. You can have your favorite, have a direction that you believe in. But don't get so tied to your guy when you hear a name that if it goes another way that you're out. Give it a chance. That's all I'm going to suggest to you in this process. You're going to say they should go with Danny Gonzalez and they go a different way. Or they should go with David Aranda and they go to Danny Gonzalez. Or they should go with a proven head coach and they I love that there's passion about this, and I think that's the first step in the recovery of this, right? Mm-hmm. Like if you go to any 12-step thing, what's the first step? Realizing there's a problem. Okay, so that would be the first step. Would be, all right, the problem was decided that we need to make a change. Okay, so you've realized. So the next step is moving on. I love that. I think there's going to be a little bit more passion on this. Here's the other thing. We get caught up in this money thing, okay? There's budgets for this. You budget money, and it's public money, and it's my money, and it's our money, and all that's right. All of that is right. There's a surplus in the state. I'm not telling you throw it away. That's not what I'm saying. To have a competitive, you have no problem spending that money in basketball, right? People don't seem to have the problem. When Alfred was going to get 1 point, whatever. Well, but Jeff, we're winning and we're getting results. I got it. It's all relative. You say this all the time. You cannot equate this to your job. You can't. It's a different world. They're living in a different world. I'm not telling you go spend $2 million on a coach. But I'm also telling you don't spend $200,000. Right? Whatever the payout situation is going to be, it is. It's not going to be what it was at Florida State for $18 million for Willie Taggart or $12 million for Chad Morris. And that's just part of the cost of playing Division I athletics. Right?
Yes, it is. And the numbers that you're going to have to deal with, you're going to hear. You moved on from a coach with 2 years left on his contract. Plenty of people wanted to make that move. And those are the things you're going to have to deal with. Not only the payout, what it it was agreed upon what's left on Bob Davies' contract, but then the negotiations for the new head coach and his staff as well.
The other part of it is
30.
There's going to be a lot out there. There's going to be plenty of very good candidates. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk football with
20.
New Mexico State's on a 2-game winning streak. Their head football coach will be with us when we return on the opening drive at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The Jim Rome Show.
The Sports Animal has been in existence a quarter of a century. This radio station is so amazing. I have been on that station 25 years. I am really, really grateful for that. Really thankful for that. Albuquerque is an incredible jungle market.
The Jim Rome Show. Weekdays at 10, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
You've been hurt at work. The workman's comp checks are supposed to be coming in, but they're not. The bills are piling up, and no one seems to care. You have a friend in the Fogel Law Firm. In New Mexico, workers' compensation has its own court, and you need a lawyer that specializes in workers' comp. Personal injury lawyers don't have the expertise for workers' comp claims. Call the experts at the Fogel Law Firm to review your case for free. Call 255-9092 or visit Fogel, Fogel, lawfirm.com. Snow on the Sandias, Santa, and the New Mexico Bowl. It's tradition around here. The New Mexico Bowl, Saturday, December 21st at noon in Dreamstyle Stadium. Visit NewMexicoBowl.com or call 925-5626.
At Roto-Rooter, we know you expect things to be right. Water faucets should flow. Toilets should flush. Drains should drain. But when the water isn't flowing, the toilets aren't flushing, and the drains aren't draining, call Roto-Rooter, and we will make things right.
Guys, have you found yourself feeling sluggish, just don't have the energy you used to have? Or do you want to take care of your hair loss? Struggling with erectile dysfunction or weight loss? It's Jeff Siembieda, and fellas, you don't have to struggle anymore. Call New Mail. Like you again. It's not going to go away just by ignoring it. And certainly there's nothing to be ashamed of. Low T, erectile dysfunction, lack of energy, they're all natural when men reach a certain age, but you don't have to accept it. Call New Mail at 505-652-1688, 505-652-1688, and you can feel better. Men everywhere have made the call and are enjoying the benefits of New Mail's cutting-edge programs, the latest treatments taking care of low T, lack of energy, depression. New Mail is going to help you feel like you again. Call New Mail at 505-652-1688. Right here in Albuquerque, New Mail boasts fantastic success rates. That means guys, maybe like you, are regaining their strength and confidence. If you're suffering from ED, depression, or just flat out tired of being tired, call New Mail at 652-1688 and feel better.
Every Tuesday through Stars and Stripes Salute, we bring you the powerful stories of military service and sacrifice in the 6 p.m. hour. Go to newsradiokkob.com and click on the Stars and Stripes logo. Please share a brief description of a New Mexican currently serving in the military or a military veteran that you feel deserves to be saluted. They'll tell their story on Brandon Vote tonight, and they'll receive a prize package. To our men and women in uniform, past, present, and future, we thank you and salute you. Proudly sponsored by Kirtland Federal Credit Union and Ron Peterson Firearms.
Does your garage door make your home look great, or is it just boring? Precision Garage Doors can show you options that make your home look awesome. They have more than 2,100 great reviews online from customers just like you. Stronger buying power means you pay less. And now you can open your door with an app linked to your home's smart technology. Alexa, open my garage door. Call 244-DOOR or visit GarageDoorsAlbuquerque.com. Make the right decision. Call Precision.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
Right now at the Home Depot, 'tis better to give and receive. Buy a Ryobi One Plus battery kit for just $129 and receive a select Ryobi One Plus tool free. Your choice from cordless drills to saws, even a radio. That'll make one powerful gift come Christmas morning. Actually, two powerful gifts. Buy a battery kit, get a tool for free. Only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Valid through December 26th. Items must be scanned at checkout to apply while supplies last.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-466-9625. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-466-9625.
K240BL Albuquerque is 95.9 FM, 610 KNML Albuquerque, the sports animal.
Going into the final weekend of football's regular season, don't look now, the Aggies are on a win streak. 44-35, they beat the Miners on Saturday, pass down in Las Cruces, Senior Day at Aggie Memorial Stadium. 3 in a row over the Miners. They've won a couple straight, headed to Lynchburg, Virginia to finish out the season against a Liberty team that is trying to get bowl eligible. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. Glad you're with us. We'll get back to your phone calls coming up here in a little bit. We've got a sweet deal for you on New Mexico Bowl tickets coming up. I'll tell you about at 8:20-ish and tell you how you can get a deal on those. But really nice performance and a good crowd. And I told you I like moving this rivalry game back late in the season. I think on a year like this for both teams, it gave the crowds, the fan bases, and the players something really to play for. Doug Martin's the head football coach at New Mexico State. He joins us on the Quan's Auto Care hotline. Doug, 2 in a row. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. I was, happy for our players. They've worked hard in practice. They've been a resilient group, and to beat the UTEP 3 years in a row, that hadn't been done since 1995 around here. So that's something historic for us. That's
a big deal. And I saw the video of the players in the locker room singing the fight song. And JJ and I had this conversation yesterday. I mean, don't tell me it doesn't mean anything. And I understand what the record is. And but for me, it showed what college football can mean and what the emotion is and what rivalries mean and really what winning means in seeing success.
No, you're exactly right. I mean, these players put a lot of work into this thing. When you win any game, it means a lot to these guys. And I think you're right, too, having the rival game late in the year, that's the way it's done at all big schools. And, that creates that excitement and enthusiasm and makes it a big deal for the end of the season.
Senior day for Jason Huntley, 191 yards on 14 carries, some explosive plays. A beautiful way for him to go out. Yeah, I mean, he went out the right way. And, Jason's, he's benefiting from us finally having a healthy offensive line. Sage Dockstadter's played the last 2 games at tackle. That enabled us to move Brian Trujillo back where he should be at guard, and it just makes us a much better offensive line, and that's the biggest part of what you're seeing with Jason having some success.
Doug, looking at quarterback play, the ball handling, the turnovers not there, how pleased were you with that part?
Yeah, that's big, and unfortunately that's what, destroyed us early in the season were all those turnovers. And, we could have won several games there, I think, if, we had played like this offensively early in the year. But, the players, to their credit, have kept fighting and kept working and kept trying to get that done. And, the last really 3 games, we've been really good with the turnover margin.
And this is one where it might catch people off guard, but Josh Adkins catching a touchdown pass. Take us through that play and the fact that your quarterback had 2 receptions.
It's a heck of a
on
catch.
The day. Yeah.
I was joking with the team Sunday that, we've been trying to teach our receivers how to high point a football all year, and then our quarterback goes out and does it. And I've been trying to teach Josh how to throw a fade ball and keep it up high, and our receiver does that on that throw. So, those 2 guys executed.
You got those 2 guys in the wrong spot, Doug. I mean, maybe you need to switch them up. They're playing the wrong position.
Bad coaching. I should switch them, I guess. But, Josh made a great catch, and Tony made a fantastic throw, and, they just executed that play really well. And they were having a lot of fun with it in practice, and, worked out well for us.
When you have plays like that in the playbook, is there a time where, I'm going to call it here, or is it just a feel in a game?
Well, that one was definitely in our goal line package for that game. And it's the same play that the Philadelphia Eagles ran a couple of years ago in the Super Bowl. And we've run it here before. We scored against Texas State a couple of years ago with it. So we've always kind of kept that. But that's primarily a goal line play. But the other special plays, you kind of have an area on the field or a down and distance you want to run them on.
Doug Martin is New Mexico State's head coach. He's with us on the opening drive this morning. Aggies were 44-35 winners last week over the Miners. winning that game and what that means in that region. So I think people in the Albuquerque area obviously know what the New Mexico State rivalry is. The UTEP New Mexico State rivalry is also special because of the proximity, because so many of your fans work with minors and they go back and forth. Help people up here understand that rivalry a little bit, because that's a big deal.
Yeah, it is, because, a lot of people commute to El Paso from here for work and vice versa, and you cross paths a lot, and it's just the proximity makes it such a big game. We recruit against them a lot, so they've got some players that we recruited. We got some players they recruited. The players kind of stay in touch with each other too. So it's unique. We're unique in that we have two rivals.
Yeah.
We have an in-state rival, and then we have this one, and there's not many college teams across the nation that have two rivals like that, and it does make it interesting, makes it a challenge.
Yeah, and I always wondered, like, an SC has to play Notre Dame and UCLA every year, that kind of a thing. It's the same concept on that, and it's good. I think, in a season like this, where, let's be honest, it didn't go the way you wanted to. It's nice to have this game late in the season. Is that something that's going to be the norm?
I hope it is, Jeff, because even something as small as like Senior Day, you want to have a nice crowd for your seniors on Senior Day. And if we were playing, Incarnate Word for Senior Day, that wouldn't have been a very good crowd for those seniors to go out in front of. But this game was. It was a lot of excitement. There was a lot of tailgating going on. So I hope they'll keep it at the end of the game. Either that's one or the UNM game, either one. I hope the rival games need to be at the end, though.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, now going to Lynchburg. You played Liberty early in the season. They beat you 20-13 in a game where you turned the ball over a lot, including at the end of the game at the 6-yard line, going in for what would have been the tying, or if you go for two, the winning touchdown. They got something to play for. They're 6-5. They need to get to 7 to get bowl eligibility for the first time. You're going in and playing a team that's super, super motivated and has to be confident knowing that they beat you before.
Yeah, they're a good football team. People don't know much about them in this part of the country, but they have every resource known to man. They probably got some of the nicest facilities in Group of 5 football, from an indoor facility to the stadium to multi-million-dollar complex they're building right now with their coaches' offices and those type of things. This place lacks nothing in terms of finances and resources. So it's going to be a big challenge. We feel like we gave that game away the first time. We fumbled at the end of the game, as you mentioned. We threw an interception in the end zone and a pass that we dropped and tip up, and they intercepted. And then we had another trick play that we had wide open in the end zone and caught it, but we caught it just out of bounds.
Yeah.
Threw it just out of bounds, and we probably gave up 21 points there. So if we take care of the football and we play like we played the last couple of weeks, we'll have every chance to win this football game. But it's going to take a great effort.
Doug, everyone has a job to do. The student-athletes focusing, of course, on school and being a football player, the coaches trying to keep them in line and dealing with human nature at the end of a long year. But how big is it to get these wins, to maybe get that refocus just to finish the season off maybe the way you want to right now?
Yeah, I think, the players coming back are learning something right now. They're learning it, as we go here, about taking care of the football and how important that is, and the difference between what was happening to us early in the year and what's happening now. And so now if we can learn to go on the road and win on the road. So we've won 2 games at home. We haven't won a road game this year. There's all sorts of little bricks you put in place, to build the next year's team. And the seniors to go out with 3 wins in a row would certainly make them feel a lot better about their senior year.
Do you feel like your team's just looking to get to the finish line, or do you feel like, they kind of wish there were, 4 or 5 more weeks?
Oh, I think now they're wishing they could go back and replay some of those games, but you don't get that opportunity. It's unfortunate because this is really a great senior class. They're really good kids. I've said this before. It's really easy to be a leader and have a great attitude when you're winning and playing for a bowl game. But our seniors going through this adversity this year have been nothing but spectacular in attitude and effort and leading and the way they've practiced. And they're a quality group.
I'm going to ask you a question that there's no real answer to, right? There's no. JJ and I have been having this conversation. If you're going to have a season like this, and you never, so the answer is I don't want to have a season like this, right? But if you're going to go 3-9, 2-10 kind of a thing, do you want to win early and then go on a losing streak, or is it better just to struggle early and then have something to go into the off season and build, which it seems like you guys are doing?
Yeah, I think you're right. At the end of the season, if you put things together and have some momentum going into spring ball for the guys that are coming back. It's certainly better for your team moving forward. I don't think there's any question about that. I tell you, it's really hard to change your mentality in the middle of a season and get these wins, and that's what we've done. We really, about three-quarters way through the season, went back to very physical practices, full bad practices, and our players could have, rebelled against that, and they didn't. They embraced it, and that's what's made us better. But that's really hard to do midstream like we did, and that's why you don't see many teams, go on losing streaks and then finish it strong.
Yeah, I mean, when you lose the bowl eligibility piece and you're not playing in a conference, in your situation, what are you playing for? And I think, I understand the schedule certainly loosened up at the back end. You're not playing Alabama and Washington State and after the Ole Miss game. But to watch the guys come out, and to your point, I wasn't down there last week. I wanted to get down there. But I heard that they played hard, and everybody seemed to be impressed with the way they played.
And they had all year long, Jeff. We came out of that Ole Miss game, and no kidding, we had 5 players that had separated shoulders that played the next week against Incarnate Word and played against UTEP this week. I mean, that's the heart and the character that our guys have had all year. And every pro scout that's come in there said the same thing, man, you guys are practicing like a winning team. And that's great to hear. That says a lot about the character of our players and our assistant coaches, how hard they've worked to keep this thing moving in the right direction.
All right. You got time for us next Tuesday? We'll wrap up the season?
Oh, yeah. Love to talk to you.
All right. We'll do it next Tuesday. Have a great Thanksgiving to you and your family and all the kids down there. Safe travels to Lynchburg, and good luck against Liberty.
Okay, guys. Take care.
Appreciate it, Doug. Doug Martin's the head football coach at New Mexico State. I'll give it to him. I mean, it's easy. Look, when you're not playing in a conference, when you're not playing – there's the bowl game thing is out the window, and I got it. It was Incarnate Word and it was UTEP. Nobody's telling you they went out and beat the world, but they could have easily lost those, right?
Yes.
And it sounds like, if you look at them and the people that were down there tell me they're playing hard. All right, you can respond to that. We'll get more into the Bob Davies stuff and Louisville football, Louisville basketball as well, 505-246-0610. Hey, mortgages and home loans can be complicated, but you can take the mystery out of home buying with Kirtland Federal Credit Union. Head over to their website and find blog articles about how to get mortgage ready and learn about the available mortgage programs they have. Kirtland Federal Credit Union also offers seminars so you can gain firsthand knowledge of the process and meet the Kirtland Federal Credit Union home loan team. And be sure to check out the next Home and Brew event. Hosted at local breweries, Home and Brew events invite you to drop by after work, have a beer, and get a fun look at the mortgage process. Ask your questions, meet the Kirtland Federal Credit Union home loan team, and take home some fun goodies. To find the next Home and Brew event, head to their website at kirtlandfcu.org/events. That's kirtlandfcu.org/events. Kirtland Federal Credit Union, they are more than military. They are for life. Kirtland Federal Credit Union is equal housing lender, federally insured by the NCUA.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club or DreamstyleRemodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel.
For Fearless Dougie, you can respond to Doug Martin. You can get in on the big stories today. 505-246-0610. That's the Quan's Auto Care hotline. The announcement that Bob Davie and UNM have agreed to part ways. They will have a press conference today. Eddie Nunez will be at that. Bob Davie will also speak at that as well. Also as well would be redundant, so you can pick whichever one, also or as well. Lobos lose in basketball last night at the Barclays Center, 84-59. 19th ranked Auburn beat the Lobos, and we haven't really got there, and we can go there now if you want. We can talk about Monday Night Football. Lamar Jackson just destroying
Making it look
the Rams.
easy.
Oh my good Lord! I mean, first of all, the Rams wearing that. So Addie says, "Dad, what are the Rams wearing?" Yep. I mean,
Mustard.
You've heard that expression. They urinated down their leg. Looks like they're all over their whole.
I like mustard better.
Is that too much?
Whatever you got to do to convince yourself otherwise.
Well, there's that. All right, Lobo basketball.
Like, it wasn't the players.
And
it was
then
the
Baltimore went with the purple. I was like, hey,
Yeah, the Baltimore
Lakers.
looked good in the
hey.
purple. All right.
It was the Lakers playing each other last night.
I know we got to do a sweet deal here, but Lobos last night, dude. You said it was the first time in their, what is it now, 7 games, that they look like a bunch of dudes just out there kind of, hey, what's up?
Yeah, it looked like a bunch of dudes that didn't want to be on a team, man. That was a Charlie Murphy chest kick, reality check. Charlie Murphy, boom, smashed. Like, that was 10 minutes of both teams just playing fast, sloppy basketball. Auburn played into it, but guess what? Their senior backcourt took over. They settled in. They were playing hard from start to finish. The Lobos, outside of McQuatch Malawach and J.J. Caldwell in the first half, those are the only 2 guys that looked like they were willing to play within an offense. Like, it looked like a bunch of dudes just playing pickup basketball last night. And that's a problem because these guys were recruited for the big stage, and they were not ready for the big stage.
So I'm going to tell you as big a concern as you just talked about, and I didn't get to this email. When did we have Hunter on Friday after the UTEP loss? No.
It was after the
New Mexico
Friday
State.
morning after, yeah.
I never got to the email that talked about, Hunter's concern was their defense. And defensively, like, how many dunks did they get yesterday at Auburn?
Yes, the defense wasn't good, but it was the turnovers. It wasn't defense.
28 or what were there?
24 turnovers.
24 of them.
And the first 10 minutes of that game set the tone.
Yeah.
Like defense is like third on the list last night.
Well, it's on the list though, right?
Yeah, but it was. They didn't lose that game because they didn't play defense.
No,
They lost that game
I'm
because of the turnovers.
Well.
Guys trying to do too much.
Yeah.
This team's going to play up-tempo games, and there's going to be points both ways. Last night was one where it looked like just a bunch of dudes out there balling, trying to do too much. Hey, I got this. Like not ready to catch passes, not ready for the entry pass. Like Auburn is a step up, and you have to be crisp. You have to settle down. You have to know when to run. And they just were playing it like any other game. And it's one where, to me, last night's more on the players than anything else. Like, the coaches are saying, hey, slow down, let's get set. But then you'd see a rebound, you'd see a terrible outlet pass. You'd see Jaquan Lyle trying to throw some sidewinder pass to nowhere. You can't do that against Auburn's length and athleticism.
Jaquan played 25 minutes. It was sick. He was thrown up in the locker room evidently at halftime, Paul Weir said. Then maybe he should have played. I know he's your best player. I don't know what the right answer is on this because I'm not there. But that was a guy that I was really looking forward to seeing play on the big stage against the big boys. I really was. He went 1 for 10 from the field. He had 3 turnovers and just looked completely out of sync.
And I still like the pieces. I think this team, as the season goes on, they will figure it out. But this is really frustrating because this is one of the few marquee opportunities you're going to have this year against big-time talent to test yourself, see where you're at, and they weren't ready.
No. Anybody look good to you? I mean, McQuatch didn't look like he backed down. I thought
McQuatch, Malwatch, and Caldwell, and I guess you could say Keith McGee
in the second half. Yeah, Keith McGee had 13 points, played a lot of minutes in the second half. They're going to get Wisconsin today, 3:00 our time. You can listen to that over on News Radio KKOB. Wisconsin got beat by Richmond, so you're going to go out there and you're going to get 2 quote unquote power conference teams. And you got opportunity, and you got a bounce back opportunity. Hopefully, Jaquan feels better today. And they got upset stomach, indigestion, whatever it is. I mean, they put some Pepto in him, and he feels better. But they're going to have to play a whole different game today. It's
going to have to be a quick reset because this is a Wisconsin team that might not be a powerhouse right now, but they know what to do. And if the Lobos come out there and they play similar to what they did, the final score of this game could be 47-20. It could be a really, really, really frustrating 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be a different world today. Jim says Lobos play the same way tonight versus Wisconsin. They'll score 8 points against that defense. Yeah. All right, we can get more into that. I got a sweet deal for you. This one's near and dear to my heart. Should I interview myself? How do you want to do this?
Walk out and then walk back in.
You want me to walk out and sit there?
Yeah.
All right.
We'd like to welcome Jeff Siembieda to the show, Executive Director of the New Mexico Bowl, your holiday tradition for how many years now, Jeff?
It's going on 14 now, JJ.
14
That's right.
years.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. I know it's
great job on your
near
success, by the
and
way.
dear to my heart. So excited that now it's a family tradition with the little one going to his first New Mexico Bowl.
First pictures ever.
This year. It's big in our family. It is tradition. And tell the folks about what they can grab with today's sweet deal.
You go to our website at 9 o'clock. That's sportsanimalabq.com. And you click on the sweet deal icon. You can get 2 New Mexico Bowl tickets for the price of 1. That's 2 tickets for $40 up in Section G, rows 27 through 36. And Dougie was in here. Well, who's playing? I don't know. We'll know on December 8th. As you well know how that goes. But this has never been about who's playing, and I think that's one of the beauties about this. You get to see almost always really good football. There's been over 160 guys that have come through here in the last 13 years who played in the National Football League. And guys from Colin Kaepernick to Aaron Jones, who you watched with the Packers, to Deion Buchanan, to Shaquille Barrett, who's second in the NFL in sacks right now. He played at Colorado State, and he's with Tampa Bay. Just really, really good players who have come here, Derek Carr. And you go out and have fun. And it's I think one of the biggest parties of the year in this town. And everybody's got a smile on their face and a drink in their hand, and they're not their toes in the sand. But you go out every year, and I know you have a good time with it. And it's nationally televised. It's on ESPN for 3.5 hours, just showing off and celebrating New Mexico. And we'll have acknowledgments of all the things that are great. Chevelle Shepherd singing the national anthem. We're going to do something to acknowledge United. Reached out to Jeopardy James. But he's going to be on his honeymoon.
Yeah, unfortunately.
He's going to be on his honeymoon.
Nice.
But all those things, we've got to reach out to John Jones, and we've had Alex Bregman in the past. So here's the deal. This isn't all about a football game, although the football game is going to be pretty good because it always is. But come on out and enjoy college football and celebrate New Mexico and college football and be a part of it. And you can get 2 tickets for the price of one. Sweet deal. You go to our website, sportsanimалabq.com, right at 9 o'clock.
Sounds good. Thank you for joining us, Jeff.
I didn't bring any food.
Thanks for stopping by.
Have fun with the car wash. They sent the limo to pick you up.
Yeah, I got to go down do all these radio
sports
stations.
fan, by the way? Do you have a favorite football
I
team?
do. The Rams are my team, and they got beat last night. And boy, they looked really bad. How about those Lobos, though? They if they could not turn the ball over, they.
Hey, thanks for breakfast. Or did you bring us?
I didn't bring any breakfast.
Oh, you didn't. Okay, well, maybe next time.
You can move on now. Thank you.
Oh, I brought you a sweatshirt last time. Is that
Excuse me?
All right. If you're on the phone, stay there. We're going to get back to you coming up in the next segment. But don't forget the sweet deal on our website, and I think you'll enjoy that. It's New Mexico Bowl, and it's December 21st. I probably should tell you the time. December 21st, out at Dreamstyle Stadium. Noon kickoff, big pregame party, the Fan Fest, and go out and have fun. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Hoser, and Alden. Hello, Alden. On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Sports Animal time.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need from screen printing.
fan. University of New Mexico and Bob Davie agreed to part ways after the Utah State game. It's a weird, awkward situation. We saw it happen with UNLV yesterday. My initial thought was, are you hoping for like an all shucks, thanks for coming type of reaction? Well, still got a game to play on Saturday. We've been talking about the list. What would fans like to see moving forward? We got a lot of names to talk about. Of course, Danny Gonzalez, now at Arizona State, part of their defense. He's their defense coordinator, is up there. Curtis Looper, TCU offense coordinator, is a name to watch out for. Of course, Zach Arnett out there at San Diego State. So we're throwing a lot of names with connections. Where do you think the Lobos are going to go? What do you want to see from the next head coach? And one of the things you have to also add into that is the assistants. And it's not just head coaching salary, but putting a staff together, recruiting. I think that's definitely something to look at moving forward. Not sure how much recruiting was done, what that's going to look like in the offseason with the switch over, of course, to the new staff. But here it is. We knew it was coming. I was expecting to see it probably after the Utah State game, but it's here. They made that decision, and we need to know that Saturday is going to be Bob Davie's last game. For Lobo basketball, it was a reality check yesterday against Auburn, 84-59 in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. It looked like a team for the first time that was just a bunch of dudes balling, not on the same page. You credit Auburn because that is a really good team. That senior backcourt, McCormick and Dowdy, stepping up for the two that led them to the Final Four, and Brown and Harper. Last year, they settled in. You saw the athleticism, the length across the roster went out, but you also just saw bad basketball from the Lobos. Guys recruited to the big stage, not ready for the stage, and going to need a quick reset today. It is a big-name bounce-back opportunity, Wisconsin, at 3 o'clock. It is the opening drive. J.J. Buck, Hoser, Alden, of course, Jeff, he's doing a little bit of the rounds. It is the New Mexico Sweet Deal tickets today, so head to our website at 9 a.m. for that. SportsAnimalABQ.com. 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. Of course, phone number 246-0610. You can get involved on the Facebook, facebook.com/TheOD in the AM. Of course, on Twitter, at JBuck610. Go to the phones. Chris, you're on the opening drive. What's up, Chris?
So, the issue going with an assistant coach is, that doesn't always translate. It's one thing to be a coordinator, another thing to be the team CEO and kind of work your magic that way. That's a special talent. It's a special gift to be able to do that, and not all assistants can do that. I mean, Mike Loxley. That's all I need to say. So that's a risk. I think the Wyoming model is a really good model. Find an FCS program that's been built. They've had success. A coach that wants to move into the FBS side. That is probably, I would say, a lower risk, lower reward in the short term. But, if you want to build a program, I think that's a good way to go. The Bryles thing, a lot of fog there. And, you'd have to cut through it. And, again, that would be one of those high-risk, high-reward opportunities, but obviously not my call. Lobo basketball, I think the way you described it, pickup versus a team, that's what it looked like. And it starts with Lyle. If he's going to be the team leader, and he made that clear last year when he was on the bench and, with some of his comments, he's the one who's going to have to set the tone, and he didn't do it. And I didn't know he was sick, and obviously, he was sitting on the bench a big chunk of the second half. I don't remember how much it was. But one player who stood out, who belonged on that field, was Malwatch. Yeah. That guy was a baller, and he's going to be more important as the season goes on, in my opinion. So if we can get, you watch Auburn and how they distribute the ball, we can do some of that because isolation only works some of the time against a good team. Probably don't work very often, and kill those turnovers. The turnovers were ridiculous. It was embarrassing. If they can reduce that, I think you got pieces there, but they're going to turn this around. Wyoming's going to put the hammer down if the Lobos let them. It'll be a similar result. They're physical, they're big, they're going to slow it down, and Lobos try to do the isolation stuff. It'll be over quick.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate the phone call. He got in 246-0610 on basketball. I agree. You need a quick reset. A lot of things were ugly yesterday. Can you slow it down? Can you play within an offense? Can you execute? Wisconsin is an absolute grind. They might not be to the level, say, a few years ago of a team. Frank Kaminsky, we saw them go on a run to the Final Four, an Elite Eight style of squad, but they're still big, they're physical, they got experience. Nate Reavers inside is your solid Big Ten traditional post player you'd think of when you look at Wisconsin, and Brad Davison and Kobe King and the backcourt are not going to make a lot of mistakes. Lobos made a lot of mistakes yesterday against a very good athletic basketball team in Auburn. You knew it was going to be a challenge, but I think what was so frustrating watching that game is how out of sync the Lobos looked. Like, it wasn't 100%, Auburn is just that much better. It was the Lobos kicking themselves. The turnovers, the sloppy play, not trying to play within an offense, trying to play too fast, bad outlet passes, getting pushed around in the paint. Because it's not necessarily the size. Now, Austin Wiley is that dude. You see him, you see the shoulders, you see he is a traditional center. He's that guy. But McLemore, Purify, Okoro, the top 50 freshmen, they're just physical guys, 6'6", 6'7", that were getting in the lane, that are moving the basketball. And so the Lobos have to settle in. I think it's, to Chris's point, I do like the pieces. I think we all like the pieces on this Lobo basketball team, but it's going to be finding that balance between Lyle taking his moments and moving the basketball. But it's got to start as a team concept offensively, and of course lock in on defense. As Jeff mentioned a little bit earlier, it was a problem, but it was down the list because that first 10 minutes set the tone of bad, sloppy basketball, that it didn't matter what defense you were playing. You're turning it over like that, taking contested shots, you're never going to give yourself a chance. 246-0610 is the phone number. Facebook.com/TheODInTheAM. ProView Networks as well. Comcast Channel 26 on Facebook, on the Twitter, on the YouTube. Of course, you can find me on the Twitter. It's popping. I am taking the names down. The list is already quite long of names fans would potentially like to see as a candidate for Lobo football head coach. We keep it rolling. It's the opening drive right here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Sports Animal.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club, or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
The Lascombe family has been growing and crafting wine in New Mexico since 1981. Formerly known as St. Clair Winery, we're going back to our roots and honoring our founders, Danielle and Hervé Lascombe. Today, our D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro locations continue to deliver the exceptional wine and food experience you've come to expect from the Lascombe family. Visit us and enjoy a culmination of our 6th-generation winemaking legacy and unique, perfectly paired foods. D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Local Union 412. Find a career with benefits and not just a job at UA Local 412 Training Center. We are looking for plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC tech apprentices and journeymen. Call 505 256-9257. Local Union 412.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
At New Mexico Highlands University, you're more than a student, you're family. Whether you're taking courses in Las Vegas, Santa Fe, Rio Rancho, Albuquerque, or Farmington, you'll get that one-on-one attention to inspire you to reach your goals. Let New Mexico Highlands help take your passion and accelerate it into a career and fulfilling life path. Find out why New Mexico Highlands is the right choice for you. Log on to newmexicohighlands.com today.
Hey everyone, Adam Deal here with ProView Networks. Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of ProView Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in...
Over on News Radio, Aggies were winners yesterday. They get South Florida today at the Grand Caymans.
They got some swimming time, huh?
I saw some beach time on the social media, huh? See? That's what happens. You win a game, all right, boys get to go to the beach.
I don't know how much beach time they got.
But they got some.
Colorado State takes them to overtime. New Mexico State outscores them 18-10, but blew a 7-point lead over the final 3 minutes.
How that happened. It's all the truth.
Still not shooting well.
It's all the truth. Still not shooting well.
It's 8 of 27 from 3.
Winner.
Just find a way to win. That's what you do.
That's right. Hello, Tom. How you living?
Good, good. How you guys doing today?
Good, thank you.
Hey, I had a thought. See what you think about it. The football and basketball attendance, I think, is tied into UNM's reputation. UNM, in the last couple of years with their, losing Rocky Long, Bronco Mendenhall, the UNM North so they could make condos, not letting anybody use the football stadium, messing up the UNM pit, where we can't host a regional anything. And, I've lived here 50 years, and I have 2 kids graduate from UNM, and I got a $15 coffee cup. They charge me for everything, parking, T-shirts. I think UNM's reputation is a factor in attendance. Granted, 30 years ago, it was a smaller city.
So, Tom, what would you do to change it? What would you? So when you say the reputation, what would you do to change it? I'm not sure I understand.
Well, look at the scandal with the athletic director using the funds to go golfing. Look at the unpaid for boxes, whatever boxes you call it at the pit, where they spend all this money refurbishing, and then all the favorites get the best seating, and they don't even pay for them.
Well, I think they do. I dug when you dig deeper into that. It was like they collected over 5 years 96% of the revenue. So 4% of the revenue wasn't collected. Most people are paying for it. I think you got to dig a little deeper than
Okay.
that. But I understand your frustration.
So I'm off on those numbers. Okay, but how do you renovate the pit and not structure the roof so it'll take the lighting to take a big venue?
I don't think you have the money for that. I just don't think, from what I understand, they didn't have the money for that to completely redo the roof. And I know it's sacrilege, but I think you're going to have to rebuild that building at some point.
Well, if that's what it takes, then that's what it takes.
Do it right.
I mean,
Do it right.
They're just going to let everything go down. I mean, I'll tell you another thing, too.
Yeah.
Excuse me. The state had, the lottery. Great thing. Probably the first state in the whole union to do, something like that.
What, the scholarship?
But, to pay for freshmen going in.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you have a credit card company, when they guarantee payment, they take 3%, 5%,
right,
whatever it is. So the state guaranteed UNM payment on these kids going to school, And UNM, instead of giving the kids a break, they raised the tuition.
Yeah, now
these things do not go unnoticed by the general public.
Yeah, no, Tom, it's a good call, and thank you for it. I appreciate it. So here's the deal, and all those have some fact to them, but it very, very surface. So, for instance, they didn't raise the tuition just because they were getting lotteries to pay for it. I mean, the people who weren't lottery scholarship had to pay extra tuition. Tuition goes up. I understand his point. And it's hard to go from the day, right, when he was there to see what you're having to pay for. You didn't have to pay for parking 25 years ago. You do now. It bothers some people. You didn't have to pay what you're paying now. And I get it. I don't totally agree with everything he said, but I understand where he's coming from. You just got to evolve, man.
Well, how do you get past that frustration? And that's the question you were asking. You were not able to get an answer. I think I agree with a lot of his points that there's a frustration, kind of a distrust that was built between the fan base and athletic department. But you're telling me all the things wrong. What's going to turn that around for you?
And that's what I asked, and he just told me what bothered him. Like how do you turn it around? Well, about the golf thing and about okay, all that stuff. If we're going to continue just to get mired in
30. It's not like Krebs is skating free about that right now either.
We just got to get out of this quicksand and have a fresh start, and let's move forward. If you want to.
20.
It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Hoser, and Alden on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Radio Network. The Ravens were the show in Hollywood Monday night, crushing the Rams 45-6. Lamar Jackson added to his MVP resume with 5 touchdown passes and 95 rushing yards. Baltimore scored a touchdown on each of their first 6 possessions and never trailed. As for the Rams, Jared Goff threw 2 interceptions and Todd Gurley managed just 22 rushing yards on 6 carries. LA falls to 6-5, currently the 7th seed in the NFC. In other NFL news, Packers right tackle Brian Bulaga is believed to have an MCL sprain and should miss 1 to 2 weeks, according to NFL media insider Ian Rappaport. The Chargers head coach Anthony Lynn announced Monday that safety Derwin James is officially designated to return from injured reserve, but did not say if he will play Sunday against Denver. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Does your water stain and damage your fixtures? Does it smell or taste bad? Are you worried about what's in your water? Water quality should not be painful and worrisome. Get HydroCare water systems from Wave Home Solutions with the most advanced purification technologies. Call Wave Home Solutions today at 1-888-973-WAVE or go to wavecleanwater.com. HydroCare will eliminate limescale that causes hundreds of dollars in damage to pipes and appliances without using salt. Well water will no longer smell or stain your fixtures. City water will be purified of harmful chlorine, lead, arsenic, and chemicals. Wave Home Solutions provides the cleanest, healthiest water at every faucet. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 1-888-973-WAVE, 1-888-973-WAVE, or go to wavecleanwater.com. That's wavecleanwater.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy company.
The Sports Bar with Michael and Mike.
My favorite part of the Sports Bar would probably be Lobos, Aggies, and Dallas Cowboys.
I just like all the Lobo coverage that you guys have and the in-depth parts that you get to the program.
I just love listening to you guys.
Sports Bar at 3 p.m.
You never know what's going to happen next, and it's hilarious. I love the chemistry. I appreciate you guys. You do a great job.
Weekdays at 3, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
In most situations, it's easy to debate who is the greatest of all time. But when you need collision repair, there's only one clear GOAT. Quanz has won a Best of the City award for the past 6 years straight. Don't go to any collision repair shop. Go to the Better Collision Repair Shop at Quanz Auto Body. Our award-winning customer service and certified collision repair makes Quanz better than the competition. Make the better choice and visit Quanz Auto Body in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho.
My family is very close. When we all get together, our parties are huge, all-day affairs. Grandma always does the cooking, and there's always plenty of wine and beer to go around. Like a good family, we look out for each other. If anyone has been drinking, we don't let them get behind the wheel. One of us will be the designated driver, or we arrange for a safe ride home. It's one of the ways our family shows the love.
If you drink, don't drive, because family time is better than jail time. Let's end DWI. Brought to you by NMDOT.
Dell has announced their biggest Black Friday ever with some of the lowest prices of the year, offering you up to 50% off top brand electronics like Samsung TVs. You'll also get massive deals on Dell and Alienware computers with Intel Core processors, plus free shipping on everything. For the gamer, streamer, or student, Dell has you covered. Just call 800-BUY-DELL or go to Dell.com/Black Friday. That's 800-BUY-DELL.
As we watch the suburban garden gnome carefully without disturbing it, we notice that it moves like not at all. It's inanimate and utterly without brain function. But despite that, when a garden gnome hears about how Geico not only saves people money, but also gives them access to licensed agents 24/7 online and over the phone, it's clear to them you should switch. Because yes, switching to Geico is a no-brainer. But on second thoughts, maybe don't watch garden gnomes too carefully. People might talk.
Right now at the Home Depot, 'tis better to give and receive. Buy a Ryobi One Plus battery kit for just $129 and receive a select Ryobi One Plus tool free. Your choice from cordless drills to saws, even a radio. That'll make one powerful gift come Christmas morning. Actually, two powerful gifts. Buy a battery kit, get a tool for free. Only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Valid through December 26th. Items must be scanned at checkout to apply while supplies last.
An official message from Medicare.
It's open enrollment, Fred. Time to compare plans.
Oh, Alice, we're fine with what we have.
Well, that's what the Johnsons thought. They tried Medicare's new Plan Finder.
The Johnsons, huh? We saved on our prescription costs.
And got extra benefits. Come on, Fred. Maybe we'll find something better.
Plans change every year. Use the new Plan Finder at Medicare.gov to compare health and drug plans. Open enrollment ends December 7th. What do you know? Comparing plans really pays.
K240BL Albuquerque is 95.9 FM, 610 KNML Albuquerque, the sports animal.
And it's AM 610. Not as Hot Take Dougie said, some other number, 670 or 680 or whatever. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. What's up, y'all?
What did you do?
We got this is one of those days where, you know, they tell you in July, they tell you, although you and I disagree, that sports talk radio is slow. This is one of those days locally where, all right, let's just come in and open the microphones and open the phone lines.
And here we go.
Jeff, JJ, Hoser, Alden, Hot Take Dougie. Can get in on the Bob Davie situation and let's move it forward. Now what? You know, the Art Briles. Well, you're getting a lot of Art Briles momentum, aren't you? Or at least chatter.
Yes, it's an intriguing name to some folks. My answer is just no.
No.
It's like if any of that stuff had just happened here, everyone would be screaming Bob Davie gone, cause accountability. But Art Briles won at Baylor.
He won,
and he has some time in between that. Sure, let's bring him in. No.
And one of you guys saying, "Oh, the more I read about him, he's really good."
I don't know if it was sarcasm or not, because you never know with the font.
No, that's right.
But it just went. There's way too much that went on at Baylor to just say, oh, you know, maybe it was just one, and it was one of those he said, she said. No,
there was 50-something allegations.
There was a lawsuit at one point in time that involved 31 players and 52 sexual assaults. That's a problem. No, thank you. Move on.
505-246-0610 is how you can get in. You can talk about Lobos basketball last night. 84-59. They got run out of the building by Auburn yesterday in Brooklyn. They'll play over on News Radio KKOB at 3 o'clock today. 2:30 is when Robert and Hunter will start the pregame show. All right, John says, Jeff, I don't disagree with you too often, but I'm going to have to in this situation. You said don't pay $2 million for a coach, but don't pay $200,000 either. My question is, why not? I heard what Rudy said about football having to drive the bus this morning and all that. The fact is, though, with more than ample evidence support me, that will never be the case. It's time we as a university finally acknowledge that and do what needs to be done, and that's stop throwing money down the black hole. Football needs to exist to stay in the Mountain West, and that is where the basketball program needs to be. But we don't need to be throwing money away year after year with hopes that something magically clicks after 40 years. So with that mindset, sell the job for $200,000 to $400,000. Get anyone who will come in and do it. If we catch lightning in a bottle and he succeeds, great. If not, oh well. At least we aren't wasting money. If he succeeds and gets poached, do it again. If he doesn't, oh well. Play out the contract and move on. It's nothing different than, with a few exceptions here and there, what we've done for 40 years of my life. Why not just embrace it, make decisions based on the reality of the situation, and that being New Mexico never was and never will be important on the football landscape. Then the money you save on football, we can spend on basketball, because after last night, it's not hard to see where the Paul Weir era is going to end up. I've been a fan for 40 years, and that was absolutely the most pathetic thing I've seen at a Lobo basketball team ever. I've seen us drubbed by Arizona State and Georgetown, etc., but never because we're playing selfish street ball with no discipline and no set offense. The Paul Weir experiment is going to fail. It's very obvious, and we don't need the burden of $1 million a year being thrown down the black hole on the east side of university to hold us back when it's time to make changes, whether it's after this season or next over at the Pit. Have a good holiday, guys. I can't disagree more.
Well, and if you look at Davies' base pay,
it's $420-something thousand.
So it's right in that range. Anyway, that the numbers he just
all right,
threw out.
so we've always been brutal, so let's always be brutal. And explain to me the great, incredible success that basketball's had. The track record, if you want to take the last 2 decades, basketball is not that much better than football. You had your Alford time. You had your Richie McKay time and your Fran Fraschilla time, too. You haven't been to the postseason in 5 seasons now? Like, explain to me where this great basketball tradition is.
People like basketball more than football.
Okay,
Jeff.
fine.
That's what you have to get
fine.
at. It's not about
but
what they've done.
Sitting here telling me that this is, if you take it away from football, you're going to give basketball, it's going to be better.
And they believe that
why
money is going to solve the problem.
So somehow it'll solve the problem in basketball, but it won't in football.
I don't. To his point of saying $200,000 to $400,000, well, you were paying a coach just over $400,000. So how much money are you actually saving that then is going to be shifted just to the men's basketball program? That's something that's stuck in so many people's minds, and it's why everyone throws out Gonzaga. Because they think, they just dump money only into their men's basketball program. That's what it is. It's completely different. And we went over this the other day, and it's good to talk about and you laid it out, like the size of the institution, the money in the institution, it gets entirely different. And Gonzaga stopped playing football in 1941, so them dropping football had nothing to do with how good their basketball
program has been. You never heard of them before
the last 30 years.
Yeah. So you and Gonzaga have nothing in common.
Yeah.
Gonzaga is a small, faith-based institution, a private institution. You are a large, over 20-something thousand undergrad students, public land-grant flagship university. I think that I could only come up with one flagship university, I believe that to be Vermont, that doesn't play football. Now, he's not saying drop football. He's saying keep it, but just stink at it. Just don't care about it. And you're shaking your head like you agree with that? Like continue to just do it because you have to, and just say, all right, we stink, and just be horrible, and just let's do something, but do it pathetically.
That's the way it's been done, isn't it? So what's the difference?
So
it's just accepting reality.
But it's not working. Is the point? It's not working. So why do something and do it poorly and just accept?
You can't dump the football program. So keep the program, keep the tradition. But do you actually have hope that there is a time that the Lobo football team can become a real player? I don't know about that. The basketball team has a much more likely chance of playing at that level.
Tell me why this. You're not Alabama. You're not SC. Explain to me why this football program cannot become a player in this league. They were.
Well, I'm just going to go by history. Have they ever been?
Yeah, they were. There was
a player in the Mountain West, or a player national.
In the Mountain West. I'm not looking for the national. Look, they're not playing for national championship. Why can't they be a player in the Mountain West? Nevada is going to probably be an 8-win team. Wyoming might be an 8-win team. Air Force going to be a 10-win team probably, or they've won 9? Explain to me why. Like 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, this team won 9. The year before, they won 7. Like we treated, they're always going to be 1-9 or 3-9 or whatever. 1-11, 3-9. Why?
You could get 7, 8, even 9 wins.
So what's
but
wrong
even
with
then, how much? No, there's nothing wrong with that. But do you need to spend? I think it'd be better to spend a little more time on basketball and a little more effort into basketball, because I just think there's a much greater. There are plenty. Forget Gonzaga. There are plenty of schools that are smaller than UNM that regularly complete. George Mason, Georgia State. You got all kinds of schools out there that can
compete in their league.
Compete at a much higher level in basketball than they can in football.
They compete in their league.
In football, even schools, even large schools like Minnesota, Wisconsin, Texas A&M, they can't even fully compete at the top level. We got the same 5 or 6 teams
competing against Ohio State. I'm not telling you to compete
basketball,
against Ohio
though.
State.
Basketball, even a school like UNM, I don't think regularly making the tournament is that crazy a belief, and that's a way higher level than the football team's going to reach.
So my question was, why can't they compete at this level? And you said, well, when have they? I'm struggling accepting. Well, they never have. First of all, they never have is erroneous, and I don't hear the answer. Why can't they compete with Wyoming and Nevada and UNLV and San Diego State and Hawaii and Fresno State and San Jose? Why can't they compete? I still haven't heard that answer.
JJ?
It's one to me where I don't, in people's minds, I don't see where this super influx of money, like cutting the costs and shaving on the edges, is going to lead to straight to the men's basketball program.
And I'm not telling you take money away from basketball.
That's what people think. That's such a mindset. They say, hey, if we cut here, it's going straight to men's basketball.
Right, can we
still got an
this?
athletic department to fund.
All right, can I refresh this, because and I know you want to stay in football because you want the money. Because the money that you get from the television revenue, the bowl revenue, the sponsorship, a large part of your sponsorship is based on football revenue, okay? It is. That money goes away. There's not more money for basketball. There's just not. In fact, football, if you look at their budget to actuals last year, football made a profit because of that money, because of the bowl revenue, because of the profit sharing, because of the television money, right? Football actually showed that they were above water. All of a sudden, magically, football, you stop doing it. All I'm saying is I don't understand why this football program, like I read that, let's just be crappy because we can't compete. Why can't you compete with the San Jose States and then New Mexico, or the Air Forces and Colorado States and Wyoming's and UNLV's and Renos of the world?
You don't think cutting money is going to help basketball any? Do you think adding some money would help the football program?
I do. I do. And so, yes, I do. And obviously, anytime you add money, you add resources, it should theoretically help. Yeah, I got it. But tell me where all this great tradition from basketball is. Like, let's just pump it to basketball, and then we're going to be in the Final Four. Do you know this program's never been to the Sweet 16?
Yes, absolutely.
Best program in America that's never been to the Sweet 16.
I know you're frustrated. It's not about tradition. People like basketball more than
football. I understand that. I just don't understand where they see that all of a sudden an influx of money is going to get you to the Final Four.
Well, not just
because
money.
they hear an influx of money is going to make that football team better. So why wouldn't
and it will make
the basketball team better?
But it's not if you de-emphasize football. Look what's happened with de-emphasizing football. Mm-hmm. Has it made you any more money?
Nope.
Okay. That's all I'm saying. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The Jim Rome Show.
The Sports Animal has been in existence.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger.
Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick.
Take 32.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all.
So Stigler says people don't care about football. I said they don't care about football. They care about Lobo football. Well, Lobo football. All right. Can you give them something to care about? It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Hoser, Alden, Dougie, 2460610. Good morning, Anthony. How you living?
Hey, Jeff. What's going on, buddy?
How's it?
So I agree with you, man. This idea that we can't compete in the Mountain West, that's been proven wrong already by Rocky Long.
And Bob Davey. Bob Davey competed in this league for those 2 years.
For 3 years, he was in there. But to me, I think the idea going forward is you just got to be honest with the fans. The fans do like Lobo football, and they do agree with Lobo football. But just like anything else, you get to a point where you just give up on them because they're not going nowhere. So if I was an athletic director, what I would do is, first of all, try to hire. There's some good coaches out there that have New Mexico roots, Gonzalez and Arnett. with that you can go out there and try to bring them into University of New Mexico. They know the state, they know the people, they know the high schools. I think you bring in somebody local like that, he's going to get about, a 3 or 4 year pass, I think, right out the gate. I think people will be happy and excited about a local guy. They'll give him that type of opportunity. And then I think what you do is you just tell the fans that we're going to try to build a winning tradition by rescheduling. I mean, stop playing the Notre Dame, stop playing the Wisconsin, stop playing those schools that are money games that you're getting blown away against, and start playing schools that you have a chance to compete with, like UTEP or maybe UT San Antonio.
Well, I think you're going to have, Anthony. You're going to have to play a few money games. Why can't you get paid by Rutgers and Arkansas instead of Notre Dame and Wisconsin and SC?
But why play those games? I mean,
because you get paid. Because they fund softball and they fund women's soccer and they fund golf.
Yeah, but think outside the box, right? If you need a money game, there's 2 money games we get every year. We get the one that we go on the road and we get destroyed by, end up getting 2 or 3 players hurt. The fans get really disgusted with the outcome of that game. Even though it's Notre Dame, we lose by 50 points. Fans give up on this team. The other money game is the New Mexico State game.
Every other year.
Why don't you just play them twice a year? Play them there so New Mexico State gets a money game, and play them here every year so we get a money game. That's $1 million game every time New Mexico State comes here. And the problem is it's every other year. Make a deal. You play them 3 or 4 times a year. Don't make the deal because they're independent. They need the game. Noble fans are going to go to that game either way. Aggie fans are going to go to that game either way. You got a money game for both schools. Just say we're going to do this for the next 3 to 5 years while we build the program. That gives us another opportunity of a game to win every single year so we can build a winning tradition. Because I can tell you, Noble fans, at the end of the year, if you're 9-3, they're not going to look back and say, yeah, but we beat State twice and beat UTEP once. They're just going to say, hey, man, we're 9-3. After 4 or 5 years, when you build a winning tradition and you start getting better athletes, better coaching out there, then maybe you can start upping the schedule. But just tell the fans to be honest with them. We're going to play schools for the next 5 years that we can either beat or compete with.
Yeah, who look like us. All right, at least you're thinking, man. I appreciate it. Thanks, Anthony.
All right, man, thanks.
So he says people do care about Lobo football. They just are tired of getting their heads beaten in.
Yes. There's an absolute element of that. I don't think everyone wants to see Lobo football go away, but I do think there's a mindset, and some people are like, win 7-8 games, go to a bowl game, whatever, whereas NCAA tournament, March Madness, we're there competing with the best of the best. And I think that plays into it as well. It's, what are you going to accept? You're a Mountain West football team. Can you compete in this league? Yes, you can, but are you willing to accept that as a Lobo football fan? Are you just always going to look down upon that?
We were having this conversation, if you come from somewhere else and you're an SC fan or you're an Ohio State fan, do you look at this as big enough football, or is it just a minor league and you don't take it seriously? Dave says basketball's not underfunded. Basketball's sufficiently funded. It needs better coaching. It's been successful in its conference amongst its peers many times in the last 55 years. Isn't that the same benchmark you want for football? Yeah, and I think they're achieving it. He says, Jeff, I think you're referring to someone like me when you complain about supporting for basketball versus football. I like football. I try to support football. However, it's been really hard to support it most of the time since Rocky left. We just need to get a good coach in the program back to where he had it. And no, he wasn't run off by the fans. He was supported really well, even in that 4-8 season. Finally, it's not that I don't like or care about football. I just like basketball more, and I suspect that's how many others that live here feel. I think that's a great call, and I think that's absolutely right. And so that he's basically a basketball fan, but I'll support football if you give me something to support. Right? And I think that's a large majority of Lobo fan. Yeah, I like basketball better, but I'll support football if you give me something to go support. And they feel they haven't had that over the last bunch of years. Dan, good morning.
Good morning, fellas. How are you?
What's happening?
Oh, just heading back to the office to try to earn a buck.
Yeah, good luck with that. What's up?
Yeah, seems like you make a buck and they take 2 from you. So
that's how that works. Yeah, that's why you got to make 2 more.
Yeah, so, listen, it's no surprise that Bob Davy's gone. 1 is health. 2 is record. 3, there was a clear separation between the athletic director and the head football coach pretty much from day 1. Now, everybody wants to talk about what's the fix, right? I mean, look, everybody talks about how New Mexico is a basketball school. Like, everybody acts like, we're growing 6-7 basketball players in New Mexico for the last 70 years, and we got nationally ranked high school basketball teams. Not even true. The reason people are basketball fans around here is because basketball has won. Basketball has made runs over the years. Basketball has given people glimmers of hope.
Basketball's won league championships, which is something, and that's what I'm saying about football. What if you could win? Yeah.
I mean, consistently, they're in the mix. Now, all this talk about not playing the money games, got to play the money games. Here, look, I've said this before, and we've argued about this on the air. Other callers have called in. Right now, you've got 5 or 6 kids from New Mexico that have signed or are playing at Division I programs like team captain at Purdue, leading the team in tackles at San Diego State, signing at Akron, signing at Nebraska. They're not here. Now, I'm telling you, 3 of those 5 kids make a difference. They make a huge difference. They make a huge difference in our record, and they make a huge difference in attendance. Now, you want to build the program. Wins and losses are extremely important. No one can deny that. We have got to stop allowing these Division I coaches to ignore building relationships. I'm not saying signing. This is where everything goes crazy, Jeff. Everybody says that I'm saying, we should sign 15 kids from New Mexico. I'm not saying that. Now, Bob Davie did a much better job of recruiting New Mexico kids on a whole than the university down south. But it's still, he has no relationship. He had no relationship with high school coaches. None. I mean, if you're going to build football in New Mexico, you've got to go to the Clovises and the Lovingtons and the Las Cruces.
And get the kids who are coming out. Yep, get the ones who are ready to play.
That's right. You got to get those coaches to buy into your program. Not tell them, hey, I'll see you once a year when you pay money to come to my camp. You got to show up there, show a legitimate interest, make yourself available, and show. And that's going to build this. That's going to build these programs. We're not going to go out and hire a big name coach that suddenly everybody's going to get behind. We've done that already. Bob Davie was a big name guy. Now, he wasn't a hot item at the moment. I mean, the guy was the head coach at Notre Dame. I mean, the guy was an analyst on ESPN. I mean, it's not like he wasn't known.
That's right.
He was known, and he was a big name. But he didn't build those relationships. He didn't build those ties.
Oh, that's
he
right.
didn't go out to and that's that. It doesn't matter about who we play, when we play, why we play. I'm telling you, it's not even the record that's the leading factor in changing this. Yeah. It's 100% relationships. I don't care who they hire as a football coach. If they don't demand that whoever they hire not just know New Mexico, want to become New Mexico, want to get out there and be at the New Mexico Bowl when the game is happening and be a strong partner and advocate. Get out there in the high schools. When's the last time you saw either one of the 2 football coaches doing any sort of an ad on television?
Fair enough.
Anything.
What's the biggest part of your business? How do you get business? Relationships. I'm going to tell you, in 14 years of running a bowl game, the biggest thing that we've got, the reason that I've got the people involved with the game is relationships. So, Dan, it's a great call, and I appreciate your call.
Talk to you later, guys.
Thanks, man. I don't disagree with him. Any business. Now, I'm going to tell you it's not number one on the list. Ultimately, number one is going to be winning football games, right? But to his point, business is relationships. And I think that the new coach is going to have to get out in the community.
I think that's a great point that he makes. Let's say if you make a good relationship with a lot of the high schools around here, listen, you got some kid who's going to come up as an All-American. You know, he's most likely going to jump to a Power 5. But you have a good enough relationship with the coaches, you might be able to get a couple of these guys that would potentially jump to a bigger school.
And that's how that the Rocky thing was built, and that's why so many people, Dan goes back to that, right? A lot of these Mahoricks and Spiegels and a lot of, hell, Dontrell, out of Roswell. Dontrell Moore stayed home instead of going to a big school because of relationships. All right, keep them coming at 246-0610, 888-922-0610. Holiday time, Thanksgiving week, and you may spend a lot of time away from home, parties and holiday events. Maybe you're traveling, and an empty house is a target for thieves. International Protective Service, IPS, is a security company providing security officers who are trained to protect your home when you can't be there, even when you are there. Drove by the other day when I was out doing some yard work out front, and they just patrol the house. They'll patrol your neighborhood, give your home that lived-in look, get the mail, take the trash cans to the curb and back on garbage day. And if your alarm goes off, IPS responds with an armed officer within 5 to 7 minutes. The police may take hours to show up. The bad guys work overtime during the holidays, and so does IPS. Put them to work for you so your home is not an easy target. Their job is to stop a break-in before it happens. Business owners, if you want to take some time off, not worry about your business during the holidays, call IPS and let them protect what you've worked so hard and so long to build. Call IPS 505-897-2420 or go to ipsglobal.com.
The Sports Bar with Michael and Mike.
I think the favorite part of the sports bar is the insights, the knowledge they pass on. People who've been there, they tell you exactly what's going on.
Finding out what the current events are, what's going on with all sports. You know, we're football and basketball fans, but you guys cover all the sports, and we like that.
The personalities, they are fabulous. Thank you for being there. We can't do without you.
Weekdays at 3, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Start your Black Friday at Sportsman's Warehouse. Doors open at 6 a.m. with doorbusters and savings you don't want to miss. Get a free Ruger 1022 when you buy the Ruger AR556. The Vortex Spark 2 Red Dot is free with purchase of the Springfield Saint. And the Masterbuilt electric smoker is 50% off. For deals on the most unforgettable gifts this year, shop Sportsman's Warehouse or sportsmans.com. Sportsman's Warehouse. Gear up for unforgettable. For details on these promotions, visit your local Sportsman's or go to sportsmans.com/store flyer.
So you think you have unlimited data?
Recalculating.
Think again. If you have unlimited data on a network you can't trust, your data is limited, and so are you. Set your smartphone free with the new unlimited plans from Total Wireless. Get 4 lines with unlimited data on the nation's best 4G LTE network with 100 gigabytes at high speed, then 2G for just $25 a month per line.
You have arrived at your destination.
Get the new unlimited plans. Total Wireless, total confidence. Available at Best Buy. See terms and conditions at totalwireless.com.
This year, the Home Depot can help bring the holidays home for free. With free delivery on online holiday decor, like artificial Christmas trees, big, small, white lights or multicolored, 140 varieties. Pick one out and we'll deliver it. Over the river, through the woods, right to your door, for free. Free delivery on online holiday decor, only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. U.S. only. See store for details.
Bosa's Tamale Factory and Restaurant in Santa Fe wants to remind you that tamale season is here. I'm Bob Clark. If you're looking for the most amazing, tastiest homemade tamales on this side of heaven, then look no further than Bosa's Tamale Factory and Restaurant in Santa Fe. 100% handmade the original way. Select from their red chili pork, green chili chicken, the green chili cheese, and even their vegan tamale. I can't believe vegan can taste this good. Stop by Bosa's Tamale Factory and Restaurant in Santa Fe or at SantaFeTamales.com.
It's Rich Ford's 6th annual Black Friday Doorbuster sale this Friday, November 29th. Join the Sports Animal from 11 till 1. Come early. The first vehicle will be sold promptly at 7 a.m. Rich Ford, Lomas in Wyoming.
Where sports meet the weekend.
Local events,
concerts,
spectacles,
what's happening,
pulse of the city,
sports, and much more.
Hey guys, come join the conversation with Van and Fred every Saturday starting at 7 a.m.
ABQ Central, Saturdays from 7 a.m. till 9 on The Sports Animal.
And now, a message from Vistaprint. This is a cow. The cow that made the milk that was made into the cheese that made Tober Dairy Farm into the talk of the craft fair. But cheese only lasts so long. The impression a small business like Tober Dairy Farm makes can last much longer, with the right business card to back it up. And now Vistaprint is introducing free shipping on all business cards in any quantity. That's right, free shipping on any card, any style, any quantity. Plug your information and logo into hundreds of fresh designs tailored to your type of company, or upload your own original layout. Pick from paper stocks like matte, glossy, or uncoated. You can even upgrade to a unique touch like rounded corners. The choice is yours. The time is now. I said now, not cow, Farmer Tober. For a limited time only, get free shipping on all business cards in any quantity at Vistaprint.com with promo code 4000. That's promo code 4000 at checkout on Vistaprint.com. Vistaprint. Own the now.
O'Reilly. This is Jesse's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
As a nurse, not making it to work was not an option. But driving through the snow with my wiper blades struggling, I just didn't feel safe. So I pulled into O'Reilly Auto Parts, and before I knew it, an employee was offering to install the wiper blades on my car. I got to stay out of the snow for a moment, and I still made it to work on time.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. The Dan Patrick Show, today at 1, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Boy, the names are floating in. Brian Urlacher, Hank Baskett.
No.
Brian Urlacher gave up his life for. Let's do that. Brian's playing golf every day, taking his kids to school. Then he wants a 3 a.m. phone call because some kid's in trouble.
That's not happening.
Opening drive, Jeff, JJ, Hoser, and Alden. What's up, y'all? 505-246-0610. Ron says, New Mexico State's not a money game, Jeff. Anthony said NMSU at University Stadium is $1 million game. Global football ticket sales for the season with the NMSU are around 900,000. Where was the game this year? It was here, right? That was last year. They were 900,000, so maybe they get a bump. I don't know. Look. Sid says, I've been here 40 years, Mr. Siembieda, and I've seen buyouts going back to Bill Mont, resulting in coaches leaving with big checks and Lobo Athletics getting more and more destitute while falling further behind the big boys. It's going to be different this time. What's going to change so we aren't having the same discussion 4 to 5 years from now? Sid, P.S. Doesn't Hot Take Dougie have his own show and station? Look, I get it. You don't want buyouts, and that's part of doing business in this world. Like, it just is. And I know that doesn't make you happy and whatever. The man has a contract for 2 more years. Your options are go through this for 2 more years or pay the man what's due in his contract. Willie Taggart left Florida State for $18 million. He walked away, got $18 million. Look, you don't have to like the concept of buyouts. That's fine. And I'm not poo-pooing $800,000. I'm just not. But that can't be the big story here.
Well, I think going back to Dan's call
Yeah.
about building relationships, I think that's not only important with high school coaches, just building a connection with potential future players. It's just with fans and bringing some level of expectations back. Like, it's not just that the Lobos were losing; it's people didn't want to rally for Davey.
No, I understand.
They didn't want to be like, "Hey, it was a bad year, but let's go. We got your back." Like, they fell off the cliff and everyone jumped with him because they didn't care about him. And so you have to have that element of a coach coming in, building relationships, and someone the fan base just cares about at the moment. Like, we'll rally through a couple of the hard times because we believe in you. And there was none of that the last 3 years.
No, I agree. And that's why I'm holding on to this, whatever it is I'm holding on to, because I do believe it can happen at a level. I don't believe it can happen at the Oregon level, and I don't think anybody's asking that. I believe what I watched here over that years from like 03 to 07, where people did care. And to Dan's point, there were a lot of local kids on those teams. There were a lot of Nick Spiegels and Mahoricks and those kind of guys who recruited
contributors too, not just, hey, we have guys on the roster. They were playing at a high level.
Who recruited Brian Urlacher and
I also go back to and Dan. I thought Dan's call was really good, and he did say, well, just because you got New Mexico kids, you're not getting people in the stands, which is 100% true. Because I would say, where was everyone rallying around Cole Gaucher and Reese White those years?
No, that's right.
When they were playing. So it's an easy fallback when things aren't going well, just to say, oh, get a bunch of New Mexico kids going to show up. That's not the case, but it's everything he laid out is what we're talking about moving forward. And with Lobo football, it's not. I think everyone gets it. It's not about competing in a college football playoff. Is competing in the Mountain West. Is that good for you? Do you buy into that? Going to bowl games, maybe your down season is 5 wins instead of 3-9 and losing the last 7. Can you get to a point where there's some consistency, some buy-in into that side of it? And when people look at buyouts and contracts and money, you have to take a step back then and ask yourself, do you believe in the collegiate athletic model? Because this isn't a UNM only problem.
Yeah, but you're not going to go change the system. You're playing within the system. So how do you exist and thrive within the system?
And that's the next step forward, is because people just look at it and go, oh, football's a problem, we're going to drop it, and then we're going to be good financially. Yeah. No, but it's a collegiate athletic model where people, okay, we're in our bubble. This is what we talk about every day.
Yeah.
If you're advocating, hey, drop football here, then you should be advocating there's probably like 15 and 20 schools that need to be doing
probably
it.
More than that who are in the same situation you are.
But you're not. You're just, of course, in this bubble.
In fact, they're adding football.
Yeah. So it's how do you push through that step and realize finances are never going to be clean. It's never going to be pretty if you want to have college athletics.
So I think one thing that people need to understand is, and we've had this conversation a number of times, I don't know why you feel that athletics should be self-sustaining, but no other department at the university should. Meaning there shouldn't be support from the university. Well, their budget isn't balanced. Well, now they got to balance their budget. They got to stay within the number that they're allocated.
You have to do it responsibly.
But people get really upset if public funding is going to football. Well, you don't have a problem if public funding is going to golf. You sure as hell don't have a problem if public funding is going to basketball, right? Where did this notion come that it's got to be self-sustaining? The chemistry department isn't. Pope Joy Hall, I don't believe, is. The library isn't. But this is the only department in the university that you want to be self-sustaining, and I think it's because it's the only one that generates revenue directly.
Yes, and it does fall back on, as someone brought up, just the level of distrust that people are still working through. It's one thing if, hey, maybe the budget's not quite where we want it, so be it, and you're doing the right things, and people are still working through getting through the Krebs stuff, which they didn't view that as right, and they viewed it as shady, so now there's even more questions with not hitting budget, and it's just going to take time and people giving Eddie Nunez and this athletic department a chance to continue to push forward.
John, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. What's up?
Good morning, gentlemen. This is certainly a can of worms we're talking about today, but I'm sure any coach that is interested in the New Mexico job is listening to the opening drive this morning. But how much would it be better for their recruiting if the NMAA had all their championship games at University Stadium? The coaches would be able to go to one place and watch all these different teams play. Okay? That's one point. The second point is if they had put $60 million into University Stadium instead of the basketball arena, would the football team, the football program be in better condition than it is now?
I don't know if maybe. Would it be in better? I don't know. I mean, it's certainly leadership, right? I mean, who's leading the program? Would facilities matter? Would they matter to the point where they'd be a lot better? I don't know.
But are the facilities that much better at the pit after putting all that money in?
You've got suites that you can sell, right? I mean, that's really the improvement, right? It looks better from the outside, and you've got suites to sell. You're still sitting on benches, and the concourses are still narrow.
Right, and if they had done that at University Stadium, torn out a couple rows of seats and put concession stands right at the end of the aisles where people could walk up and get their beverages and their hot dogs, walk right back down like Isotopes Park.
So you're saying a better experience. It would be a better experience for the fan. The fan would be more apt to go to the game, assuming that there was still hot chocolate to buy in the third quarter.
Right. That's what people want. They go for the experience. It's not.
I agree with you.
Where they just go to sit down and watch the game and get into the game and get in their cars and go back home, because there's so much dead time in football games anymore. Third point is, how about Ned James as a head coach? He's got a lot of experience, and he knows the state rather well, and I think he could do a young person's infusion to the program, which is what it needs.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it, John. What do you think? Ned James, throw his hat in there.
Ned James.
Add it to the list. Ned, you're a candidate.
Yeah, put Ned James in there, too. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Your emails come in, jeff@610knml.com. I got a Jason email on Lobo basketball last night. Oh, I'm sure you want to hear that, too. 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This is Boomer Esiason with the Siembieda.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 1,000 homeowners improved their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club, or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rawlins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
The Lascombe family has been growing and crafting wine in New Mexico since 1981. Formerly known as St. Clair Winery, we're going back to our roots and honoring our founders, Danielle and Hervé Lascombe. Today, our D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro locations continue to deliver the exceptional wine and food experience you've come to expect from the Lascombe family. Visit us and enjoy a culmination of our 6th-generation winemaking legacy and unique, perfectly paired foods. D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, #life change will occur.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
610, the sports animal.
All right. Level basketball over on News Radio KKOB. They play Wisconsin today. 2:30 pregame show, 3 o'clock. Robert Portnoy, Hunter Green will have the call from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Jason's in on Level basketball last night. It says blued out. Good morning, OD in the AM. What a day. The Aggies drew even in the Mountain West Conference by outlasting Colorado State in overtime. As I watched Team Talk a Lot, Done Little play last night, I listened to Sean Farnham. He was the analyst on the ESPN broadcast, make a few observations that may have given one the impression he is not a fan of UNM or how UNM does things. 365 days prior, another former UCLA player said, quote, you cannot win with gimmicks, end quote, after losing a big lead at home. This year, Farnham talked about the Lobos' lack of defense, ISO basketball, not sharing the ball, and bickering. Did we hear all offseason that this team will be better defensively, the ball movement will be better, and they are together? I ask, were all of those things on display last night? It was funny how they alluded to Weir building his team through the transfer portal while lauding Auburn and teams like Richmond and Dayton for building their program. Yes, it's one game, but these were all issues from last year, so what does that say? We'll all talk about being ranked. Ha, 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 ha. It's crimsonly, Jason. They certainly were not heaping praise on New Mexico last night during the broadcast.
And they shouldn't have.
There was nothing to praise.
One thing I will say, Jason, you're right on majority of the email. Leave the transfer talk at the door. That's what New Mexico and New Mexico State do.
Yeah, look at New Mexico.
Where's your best player from? Where's your point guard from?
Yeah. I just don't think in this day and age,
that's
at the quote unquote mid-major level, you're going to be able to build 4-year players. Now you have to have some. McQuatch Malawatch is going to be one.
It's all about balance.
You don't recruit a guy with the intent on him leaving, right? But would you rather have a freshman or would you rather have Jaquan Lyle? Just asking. Would you rather have a sophomore or would you rather have Carlton Bragg?
Well, and I think it's we're seeing it play out right now. J.J. Caldwell or Drew Drennan.
Okay. I just, to your point on the transfer portal thing, I take a look at Nevada the last couple of years. How many transfers did they have when they got to the Sweet 16, right? They were a point away from beating Loyola to get to the Elite Eight, correct? So I don't know that there's one way to skin this cat. In fact, I'm going to tell you that there's more than one way. And whichever way works that particular year is, oh, see, I told you so. Oh, see, I told you so. Oh, see, I told you so. Yeah, that's how that is. What happens today, by the way? What do you see today? Because I just if
see a tough loss today. I think
tough loss meaning
I don't see them losing by 20. But if is Lyle all of a sudden, was he just taking IVs all night? Is he going to be healthy and locked in? I just think it's a quick reset. Just execute. Just run some offense. Settle down. Got smacked around last night. It happened, and you have a marquee name opposite you, a chance to respawn today.
What I watched last night, I'm wondering how they turn this thing around in 18 hours. Yeah. How they shrug. This is a character test today now. How do you shrug that off of just getting paddled? And now you've got a totally different team. And that's not dismissive of the athletes, but this is a physical, slow down, totally different kind of team that you've got to get ready for. Go out and play a different, much more patient defense, right? Much more deep into the shot clock defense, right?
They can defend you. They got a veteran backcourt. Brad Davison and Kobe King are going to make plays. They're not going to make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. You know what we didn't get into? Lamar Jackson.
Ram it.
Beating
Don't you know
something,
something, just ram it?
Yeah.
That's the play call. They're like, hey, Lamar, ram it. And he did.
All right, we're going to ram it. Ram it on 2. Ready?
Touchdown, Ravens!
It was amazing. 95 yards rushing, 5 touchdowns passing.
He's not supposed to look like a high school quarterback being the best athlete on the field in the NFL, and that's exactly what it looked
against
like.
the defending
It's like
champs.
A bunch of high school kids like, oh, no, we can't stop this guy.
It's unbelievable. Hello, Harry.
Hello, how you guys doing?
Good, how you doing?
Good. I just want to talk a little Lobo basketball of the game last night.
Yeah.
Really disappointing, not just for the team, but for the conference. I mean, that was an embarrassment. It's just kind of a reflection of the coach. I didn't see any fundamentals, like not boxing out or passing the ball properly, too much dribbling, selfish play, just taking bad shots. Everybody want to play one-on-one. And hopefully this game will show these players and the coach that they're not as good as they think they are. They're only as good as teamwork. They've got the players, but now they have to get the right attitude. And this coach doesn't seem like he's able to really control these guys. It's more like they're controlling him, and that's not a good sign, but it's still early in the season. Hopefully they can turn it around. Anyway, I'll let you guys, I'll hear it come.
All right, Harry, thanks. Ray, let's get you in before the end. What's up, Ray?
Yeah, real quick. I don't have any analysis that anybody else hasn't already brought forth. I just wonder, how is Weir even communicating with these guys during practice? What do they do? I see no structure on either end of the floor. At some point, you got to run a set offense. At some point, you got to run some plays. And you got to practice that. And maybe that's how you get over the unselfishness that we see. It's just frustrating to see the talent and to see a lack of leadership entirely from above. Thanks. Bye.
All right, thanks. They do.
And I think last night, it's going to fall back on Paul Weir, the head coach, but that first 10 minutes to me is more on the players. You're talking about leadership, character. In those timeouts, they're saying, slow it down. Stop making those terrible outlet passes. Run the offense. And they didn't do that.
Defend somebody. All right. Thank you to Doug Martin. He was with us today. Obviously, a lot going on. The sports bar will have you get an abbreviated sports bar this afternoon. No, you get a full sports bar. Lobo Basketball's over on News Radio. So you'll have response from the press conference today, Bob Davie and Eddie Nunez. We're back tomorrow morning. Jim Rome Show is next. Dan Patrick Show's after that. Alden,
30.
Great Thanksgiving weekend. Hoser.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you to Jeff from New Mexico Boat for stopping by today.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget the sweet deal. Go to sportsanimалabq.com and click on the sweet deal icon, 2-for-1 New Mexico Bowl tickets. All right. Go out. Have a great day. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll see you tomorrow.
The Jim Rome Show.
The sports animal has been in existence a quarter of a century. This radio station is so amazing. I have been on that station 25 years. I'm really, really grateful for that. Really thankful for that. Albuquerque is an incredible jungle market.
The Jim Rome Show. Weekdays at 10, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Where sports and culture meet the weekend.
Local events,
concerts,
spectacles,
what's happening,
pulse of the city,
sports, and much more.
Hey guys, come join the conversation with Van and Fred every Saturday starting at 7 a.m.
ABQ Central, Saturdays from 7 a.m. till 9 on The Sports Animal.
I'm a